Okay. Do we want somber or epic?
Epic.
Epic.
Right. Give me a minute. I was on somber.
Story of my life.
Okay, here we are.
It's been 3 years since the first Secret Oscars, but now we're back. 9 more categories, 50 more
Some of
films.
them the same. Most
This
of them.
is the Secret Oscars 2023, and here's your host, Laura. Woo! Yay! Go, Laura!
Ah, yes. Okay.
So who wants to summarise what we're going to do today?
I don't actually know, so
I've forgotten to. I'm panicking. My brain's sort of frozen up.
Shall I do a quick intro to what the Secret Oscars 2023 is all about?
Yes, please.
So since we last, we have, I'm glad to say, released our 100th episode very recently.
Lovely.
Having watched 100 regularly chosen films. Who knew? Who knew we'd be this far when we started this like 5 years ago? More than 5 years ago we started this.
And with the exact same listenership.
With the exact same listenership of maybe one. Well, since the last Oscars then, we've watched 52 films.
Such an odd number.
Regular films, and
it's literally an even number.
Plus a handful of bonus episodes. And now is the time we're going to wrap it all up and decide what the best film was that we saw, and some other awards in other categories. We've got 9 categories here, culminating in Best Picture. We've also got a few bonus categories, which we'll talk about later. So the first category then, we've each chosen 2 categories, and the first category is Fernando's. And this category is called Most Imaginative Plot. Fernando, can you take us through what this category is about?
It is about rewarding the imagination of a person making a film. Yes. So the most avant-garde story, the one that doesn't follow a script or follows the script of your heart, is the one that is going to win this category.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Love it.
We after some esoteric discussion, we've settled on a format for how we're going to do this. So Laura will reveal her nominee first, then I'll do one.
Yep.
And then we'll pair them off and see which one's better. And then Claire and Fernando, you'll do yours. And we'll pair them off, see which one's better, and then we'll have a final vote for which one was most imaginative.
Cool.
I'm ready.
Laura, what's your nomination?
My nomination is Princess Mononoke.
No!
My prince, are you prepared to learn what fate the stones have foretold you?
Yes.
There is evil at work in the land to the west, Prince Ashitaka.
My name is Ashitaka. I've traveled far from lands to the east.
Go away.
I don't want to fight you. I'm a friend.
Princess Mononoke?
Princess of the spirits of ghouls, beasts, and ancient gods. The wolf stole her soul and now she lives to kill me.
You're beautiful.
Why can't the humans in the forest live together? Why can't we stop this fighting now?
I'm going to show you how to kill a god.
You cannot alter your fate, my prince.
Oh my god, me too. So now that Princess Mononoke has been nominated, my nomination is Jason and the Argonauts.
Okay.
I warned you, Jason. This is Hercules doing. Talos gods will try to kill all of you.
How can I fight him?
Think before you waste the gift of the gods.
Against the man of bronze, our weapons are useless. I repeat that question.
Then I must answer it. Fight Delos with your wits rather than your courage, and look to his ankles.
His ankles?
There is nothing else I can tell you.
Great. What a contest.
I have so much to say about that because I thought that might happen. And
So, I guess we start with you then, Laura. Why Princess Mononoke? Do you want to tell us?
Oh, when I was going through the list, it just jumped out immediately, and I was like, I mean, we haven't watched a more imaginative film, I think, because it's just so well constructed, and I just didn't see where anything was going to go. But beautiful imagination, just even in the lands. I mean, it's about plot, but everything about it was imaginative. I'm probably not the person to argue. I should have let one of you argue for this film because I just going to keep repeating that it was a very imaginative film. It would take someone with great imagination to produce Princess Mononoke, I think. I mean, you've got I'm struggling to remember it now, but you've got Ashitaka. He's in it. San.
That is the name of one of the characters, yeah.
Yes. But she's a wolf woman, and then there's Irontown. They're all facing off against each other. At some point, some boars come out, and they're dying. Yeah, rest my case.
Have you ever been asked to do blurbs on the back of novels?
You read my letterbox.
Yeah, that's true. My nomination for this category is Jason and the Argonauts. I sat for quite a while trying to decide whether I should pick the more batshit film or the more good film, and I had kind of decided to pick Princess Mononoke, but second choice is second choice, so Jason and the Argonauts. No one could say there wasn't any imagination in that story.
I'm going to say it. There was no imagination in that story.
Now, in a way, there is no imagination in this story. And we could point out here that the whole plot was just recycled from ancient literature, like ancient Greek myth.
Yep.
And so, in a way, like the filmmakers didn't do anything imaginative, but the amount of imagination that went into into that theme, into the original myth, which is like a massive who's who of the entirety of Greek myth and culture, is a huge amount of imagination, and there was a lot of shit going on. There was the tall iron guy. There was the man. There was the huge
I literally
god.
can't believe that you rinsed me for my summary of Princess Mononoke.
There was the guy that stuck his head out of the water and held back the cliffs from falling over. There was Brian Blessed going, "Refuse the help of the gods." There was a ball of wire wool that was referred to as a fleece. There was stop motion. It wasn't a good film. There was a lot going on. That's why it was imaginative.
They pulled a lot of elements together. Sure.
Yeah.
My main point was going to be the thing you've already said, which is that is it really imagination if it's based off of a pre-existing story?
Yeah, that's the limit.
You've covered that. And I think, there was some imagination. They cut some bits out. They put some bits in.
Mm-hmm.
They had to imagine Olympus,
Yeah.
fully realised in one angle set.
There's a lot of white marble and there's
white men with
the
beards.
little viewing screen, like pond that they viewed things. That was quite imaginative.
So would you say you agree with me, Claire?
That's not exactly where I was going.
I mean, equally complex characters in both, I think. You've got Lady Eboshi, who's cast as a typical villain, but really feminist icon. She's, industrialising the town, destroying the forest.
Same with Hera.
Same with Hera, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not the same, is it?
Jason, Ashitaka,
Oh,
Sam,
just saying
the
that
sexy woman.
It's indefensible, isn't it? The sexy woman. What even was she called? every character in Princess Mononoke had so much depth and that required imagination to create, right?
Yes, yeah, just all tied so wonderfully into the plot. Because all of the plot points were clashing and coming together, and they all had very distinct, very well worked out motivations for why they were doing the things that they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, San being so wholeheartedly devoted to the forest, Ashitaka desperately trying to save himself, but loyalties divided between the town and San, and just wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. But I do have I've got a real soft spot for Jason and the Argonauts, as you know.
How are you feeling about these two films, Fernando?
I'm feeling confident in my vote. I think that I know who I'm voting for.
I think I know too. Claire, anything you want to say?
Now, this is where, right, so this category is most
good,
imaginative.
you're making it interesting.
Right? And these both capture quite deep ancient philosophies, both of these films. One of them does a better job of it. Not going to argue. But that doesn't make it more imaginative.
Oh, interesting.
Whoa.
And it's imaginative plot as well, isn't it? It's not imaginative, like, fleshing out of characters.
Yeah.
No. Also, I'm not sure we should really penalise it for taking the story. Like, because if we could look at the imagination that went into the myth.
Yeah. Well, it's a collective imagination, isn't it, Jason and the Argonauts? It's the imagination of generations of people trying to make sense of the world.
But it's not most imaginative original plot.
What do you reckon, Fernando? Is it imaginative if it wasn't necessarily imagined by the filmmakers?
Well, I don't know. Should we just nominate something else? For example, we could also nominate Ben-Hur because it was also very imaginative.
Don't give away your nomination too early. And we all know Ben-Hur's based on a true story because it's in the Bible.
Exactly. So that would be it's not allowed in this category.
But it's all the imagination of God who created the universe. So he's very great imagination.
Oh my God.
I knew it wouldn't take us long to get to God. I mean, has anyone not decided which one they're voting for?
I'm now on I know we've got to get going, but I think if we're judging it on the basis of the Greek myth, I mean, they just created that. They had all sorts of mythical gods getting involved. As you said, there's a fleece. I'm sort of losing my own argument. I'm trying to think what was imaginative about it. Delos, that was pretty imaginative. Okay, you know what? No, I'm ready to vote. I've made up my mind.
Okay, what should we go, Claire?
Oh, Princess Mononoke.
Fernando?
I just wanted to annoy people.
Princess Mononoke.
Great, Laura.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Princess Mononoke. Wow, it's a resounding, unanimous vote. I wonder how many of those we'll have.
Oh, probably not so many. I seem to remember we usually argued the toss over quite a lot of stuff. So yeah, Princess Mononoke it is. That was not a close one. So Claire, then Fernando. Claire, what have you got for us?
Okay, I think the most imaginative film that we watched was Big Fish.
I have to leave. Tonight.
Why?
This town is more than any man could ask for. And if I were to end up here, I would consider myself lucky. But the truth is, I'm just not ready to end up anywhere.
But no one's ever left.
How are you gonna make it without your shoes?
Well, I suspect it will hurt. A lot. Now, I'm sorry, but, well, goodbye.
You won't find a better place.
I don't expect to.
And Fernando?
Well, given that... Okay, well, I believe that the most imaginative film that we watched, or perhaps the second most imaginative film that we've watched, was My Own Private Idaho.
When I turn 21, I don't want any more of this life. My mother and father will be surprised at the incredible change. It will impress them more when such a fuck-up like me turns good than if I had been a good son all along. All my bad behavior I will throw away to pay a debt. I will change when everybody expects it the least.
You'll become a head roller. A hatchet man for your old man.
No! You will be the hatchet man, Bob. That will be your job. And so there will rarely be a job hatcheted. It will all be just one endless party. Won't it?
Because, well, I mean, yes, it is based on ancient literature, ancient classic literature, but then, again, it was all written because of God's will, so who are we to judge God's imagination? Plus, it made me understand books that I haven't even read. Since I haven't read Shakespeare's Henry IV, parts 1 or 2, or Henry V. However, just by watching this film in a completely new and imaginative way, I feel like I've actually understood what Shakespeare wanted to say, but in a more modern context, which is even better. So that's why I'm giving my nomination to. Well, see, now I'm nominating My Own Private Idaho.
Okay,
fabulous.
So you've given us a bit of an intro and reasoning there. Do you want to give us yours, Claire, for Big Fish?
Not really, but I suppose I could. So Big Fish. I still have no idea what happened to Big Fish. I put that down to the sheer creativity of the makers, and it was it's unlike a lot of films. It's got like time doesn't really exist, like space doesn't really exist properly, truth doesn't exist. Basically, it takes everything we know of reality and tells you it's not real, and tries to tell you a story in that context. And I think that's a very imaginative thing to do. How's that? Does that sound convincing?
Well put.
It was convincing, yes.
I see what you mean, but in my mind, is imagination the same as coherence? Is it just... Tim Burton was like, and then he's in heaven, and then he goes to Vietnam, and there's twins there, and then his dad dies, and then he goes to a field full of daisies. I guess that's imagination.
Yeah, is it imagination or is it a fever dream?
If you just pick random words from the dictionary, it's going to be very unique and different, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's imaginative, right? A bit like Jason and the Argonauts. It's just kind of a load of random shit that happens that doesn't really go together coherently.
No, I think I'm being unfair. It was that I couldn't have thought of it, and it did make sense. It was a story.
Yeah, I thought it came together fairly well.
It wasn't just pig Narcissus.
We'll get to
that was imaginative.
Don't know.
Was My Own Private Idaho more imaginative?
Well, we are about to decide. Well, you are about to decide, given that I don't get a vote.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was in a way, because we've got a lot. Again, it's quite a complex story that's got a lot of moving elements, and characters have to float around in this strange, unreal, dreamy world. It takes imagination to bring characters to life, especially when they're pre-existing from Shakespeare.
Yeah, it did do a reasonable, the whole modernising Shakespeare can often be a disaster.
Yes.
But I think they did a really well enough job. No, they did a terrible job of it, and my film should win. Sorry.
I think in terms of plot innovation, Big Fish had a lot more going for it. The whole uncertainty about what's real and certain things representing other things, I think was done well.
Yeah.
And was interesting and unique. Surely.
But I didn't like it as much as the other one.
No, it was not the better film.
So this is why I'm struggling here.
But it was the more imaginative plot, I reckon.
I would argue that both of these films didn't have a plot. They were just a series
imaginative.
Of incidences. They could be imaginative. They could be an imaginative series of incidences.
However, this is the category of most imaginative plot. So if there's no plot, then
we've got to work with what we've got.
Well, maybe the key to these films is that you had to imagine your own plot.
Whoa.
Oh my.
Beyond imagination. I'm ready to vote. Are you guys?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't
You're
really
first,
know.
Laura.
Oh, do I have to go first?
I think so.
I haven't really decided. Because I think Big Fish was more imaginative, but I don't like it, so I don't want it to win.
Well, you've already voted. That's your vote.
Okay, that's my vote. Big Fish. That's fine.
Big Fish. I'll say Big Fish. Claire?
I also vote for Big Fish.
Oh, well.
Although My Own Private Idaho is a better film. And
great film.
I think that's an interesting take on most imaginative.
2 unanimous votes.
Yeah. And we'll see if we go unanimous with this, the final vote then. Is it Princess Mononoke or Big Fish?
Yes.
Well, you'll have to decide.
So this is tricky. Princess Mononoke was the one I suggested. I did have Big Fish in my top few for most imaginative.
Not your top 2, though.
Not my top 2.
You thought it was less imaginative than Jason and the Argonauts.
I did think it was less imaginative than Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, I think Big Fish was cool, but it did have a little of the, pulling random words out of the dictionary, just not very coherent, just here's some stuff happening, and we'll kind of say, oh, but that could represent something, but we won't say what it represents. So I'm feeling a bit more Princess Mononoke-ish for that.
I think that Princess Mononoke had more symbolism.
Yeah, am I still supposed to be arguing for Big Fish? Because I
think now you can argue for whatever you like.
Yeah, okay, I think Princess Mononoke was more imaginative and was better and should win.
Your Big Fish, you could argue, had a lot of images, but no real referent. It weren't based on anything.
Wow, does that make it more imaginative?
Well, no. I'm ready to vote. I think it's.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke had this beautifully woven web with so much going into it, and everything connected, everything related, and just surprising but coherent. Oh, wonderful!
Brilliant film, almost as good as Mulan.
Nearly. I detect an award sweep coming up, but we shall have to see. I don't think this will be the last one it wins. Shall we do it then? So Claire,
Let's
Laura, Michael?
Yes.
Claire?
Princess Mononoke.
Laura?
Princess Mononoke.
And I'll say Princess Mononoke.
Wow.
Clean sweep.
Wow. 3 consecutive unanimous votes.
Wow. Dreadful stuff. Hope we'd have more arguments.
Yes, so after much deliberation and words, we have decided that the most imaginative plot of the Secret Oscars 2023 goes to... Let me just open the envelope. Princess Mononoke.
Yeah! Excellent
Beautiful.
Stuff. Cool. Next category. Laura, do you want to introduce it?
Oh, I'd love to. The best adaptation of Mutiny on the Bounty. What introduction does it need? I mean, simply it had to be done. A natural outcome. I'd say most of my excitement about the Oscars has been about this category.
Oh, God.
Without further ado, Michael, Claire, Fernando, Laura.
Yes. I think the best adaptation of Mutiny on the Bounty has to, of course, be Mutiny on the Bounty 1962 with Trevor Howard and Marlon Brando. Fight me.
You bloody bastard!
You'll not put your foot on me again. Thank you. Thank you. I've been puzzling for a means to take the strut out of you, you posturing snob. Now you've solved that for me, haven't you? You have witnessed Mr. Christian's act of violence toward a superior officer. He will be placed in confinement until a court-martial can be convened. In Jamaica, I expect. And will your fashionable friends be there to see your execution, I wonder? Let's hope so. Pity if your last function were to be a social failure. Mr. Fryer, take him below.
Ship's company! I'm taking command of this ship. Mr. Fryer, I'll have the keys to the arms chest.
You'll give him nothing! Go below and arm the men off watch.
Stay where you are, Fryer. You've given your last command, Bligh. I'll have those keys, Fryer.
You heard my order.
One more order, Mr. Bligh, and I'll have your head on this deck. By heaven, I swear it!
Don't, sir.
Mills!
Right, sir.
Go below and issue arms to all those who are with us. Burn!
Aye. It is pointless to incite a mutiny, Mr. Christian. It cannot succeed, and you know it.
Twinkle, stop him!
Stop Mills in the arms room. They're trying to take over the ship.
There's a mutiny!
Claire, any thoughts? What's your
What's your nomination?
I think I thought the 80s one was the least bad.
The Bounty.
Yeah, that one. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we've got The Bounty.
The least
with,
bad.
Old
That's
Mel
my
Gibson
argument.
and old...
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins!
However, we are still faced with a long, hard voyage. I mean to make good use of every hour of sailing time. And to assist me in this, I'm replacing Mr. Fryer with Mr. Christian, who will now act as executive second in command with the rank of acting second lieutenant. Mr. Fryer, come back here. Mr. Fryer, sir, come back here! We'll dismiss when I have done with you, sir. Do you hear me?
This is an outrage.
Mr. Fryer.
In all my years at sea.
Your years at sea, good Lord, man. If I'd known your nature, I would not have accepted you as bosun of a river barge.
Must I suffer this before the...
You will suffer my correction whenever you're at fault, sir.
What fault?
So damn your eyes, man! You turned your back on me!
Oh, for that I apologize.
Very well.
But I protest.
You protest, do you?
I am master of the bounty.
And I, sir, am commander! By law! I am the first! Do you understand? God damn your hide! And now you may dismiss, sir.
Mr. Fryer! Sorry. Every time. Michael, maybe you should go first. Why do you think this one should win?
Oh, Mutiny on the Bounty, 1962. What an epic. 3-hour playtime, big orchestral score, intermission, 70mm full ultra widescreen. Oh, it's an event. It's a cinema event and a piece of cinema history. Compared to other versions, so it was more complex and interesting than the version in the 30s, but it was less all over the place and chaotic than the version in the 80s that we're going to hear about. It was it had this beautiful writing. It had I could watch Marlon Brando and Trevor Howard going at each other all day, if you'll excuse the expression. There was so much energy and so much interest and intrigue, curiosity. You didn't know what was going to happen next, and there was depth to it, depth to the characters that really made me think afterwards. It was a really great film.
Brilliant, thank you. Claire, your rebuttal. Good luck.
So I don't actually remember any details of any of these films.
No.
But I had to ask Michael earlier which one I hated the least, and apparently it was this one. So
I remember that too, yeah. Actually, no, I'm not sure. I remember Fernando hating this one the least.
Oh yeah, I think I hated the 60s one the most until
really
recently. What I would say is this didn't go on for 3 hours. It didn't get above itself. It just, was a film. It didn't try to pretend to be some epic or any nonsense like that. And it was just an honest, good film. So if you just like something that's honest about what it is, doesn't get above its station.
Oh, you really don't remember this, do you?
Isn't pretentious, then I'm countering everything Michael said. I don't remember any of them. Yeah, this is the one to vote for. I mean, there's not really much more I need to say. Obviously, it was the better film. Feel free to vote for my film.
What I will say is it was an interesting addition to the repertoire of our watching.
Was it?
Give it that really? For the canon. And the first 15 minutes are genuinely very good and exciting. It does just drop it off after that, though.
You just like the synth music.
I love synth.
Oh, this is the one that had the interesting way of telling the story, didn't they? They opened in the court case or the hearing, which I thought was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Clear sign you've run out of ideas if you start fucking around with, we'll start at the end and then we'll do it all in flashbacks.
And I liked the villainization of Christian because I got the sense in every adaptation that he really was actually the villain.
It was the most true.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, well, William Bligh was a real hero, wasn't he?
He was. A kitten, basically. That's what he was described as.
Laura's favourite.
So really, this is the only film that really represented that.
Shone that. And yet I still like Trevor Howard's Bligh better. Can't compare. It's the best. I mean, if we have... I don't want to spoil the other categories, but I have a feeling I'll be bringing up Trevor Howard again.
Excellent. Great stuff. Fernando, what was your opinion on these two?
The first one that we watched was the one from 1935, I think. That's the very first one that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are not discussing the first one. We're discussing 1960 and 1980.
There's a good chance we'll talk about the 1935 one.
We are expecting 2 more nominations in the category.
Okay. Wait, which one is the one that you nominated? Michael?
I nominated 1962.
Okay. Well, I'm going to vote for that one as well, given that I can't remember the one that is from the 1980s. But something tells me that I enjoyed that one better.
Let's go with that.
Good enough for me.
Yep, me too.
I like it when people ask, which one are you voting for? And then they say, I'm going to vote for that one too. I'd be ready to vote.
I'm ready to vote.
I can vote, whatever.
Yes.
I vote for Mutiny on the Bounty, 1962.
I vote for the Bounty 1984 film. Wikipedia.
Correct. And Fernando?
And my vote goes for 1962 as well.
Great, that's been locked in. We've locked that in, haven't we? Because I hate to tell you, Fernando, but you vastly preferred the 1980s one.
Whoops. Well, I'll take it. So now we've got Fernando and Laura. You can reveal your nominations for this category.
Hooray. Fernando, you first.
Oh, good. Well, I believe... I believe that my actual favorite, my very favorite of the 4 that we watched, if it is 4 that we watched or not more, was 1930 something. So the black and white one.
Oh, okay.
Wait, there were 2 black and white ones. But not the oldest one.
1935, I think you're
1935, I believe. Yeah, I believe was my favorite, which I also believe is the first one that we watched.
Mutiny on the Bounty, Clark Gable. Yeah.
Lord, much as I desire to live, I'm not afraid to die.
Since I first sailed on a bounty over 4 years ago, I've known how men can be made to suffer worse things than death. Cruelly, beyond duty, beyond necessity. Captain Bligh, you've told your story of mutiny on a bounty. How men plotted against you, seized your ship, cast you adrift in an open boat. A great venture in science brought to nothing. 2 British ships lost. But there's another story, Captain Bligh. Of 10 coconuts and 2 cheeses. A story of a man who robbed his seamen, cursed them, flogged them. Not to punish, but to break their spirit. A story of greed and tyranny, and of anger against it, of what it cost. One man, my lord, would not endure such tyranny. That's why you hounded him. That's why you hate him, hate his friends. And that's why you're beaten. Fletcher Christian still free. But Christian lost too, my lord. God knows he's judged himself more harshly than you could judge him. I say to his father, he was my friend. No finer man ever lived.
Yep.
It has Rule Britannia at the beginning.
It did.
And,
that was a good start.
And it was a good introduction to the legend of Mutiny and the Bounty. And it was better than the rest, so I'm voting for that. Well, I'm nominating that one.
So, Laura,
Wonderful.
which one would you like to nominate as the best bounty film that we watched?
Well, for lack of other options,
Legally Blonde.
go with a film that we have not seen, Legally Blonde.
Excellent decision.
La La Land.
Yeah. In the wake of the bounty. I mean, what else? What else can we say?
That ditty takes me back to the days of the bounty. Days in hell, nights in paradise, then days in hell again.
Michael, tell us the story of the bounty. I've never heard the truth of it.
Yes, Michael, you old son of a gun. I'd sell me breeches to hear the truth of that mutiny.
You remember? You said the tune you played just now brought back memories.
Good choice.
Yeah.
So, can you possibly make a case for that, Laura? Would you like to?
I'll give
bloody well better.
I'll
I
give
had
it a
to argue
bash.
for one.
That's true. Let me just look up the cast lists. Then we can. Oh yeah, it had Errol Flynn. I mean, look, there were some enjoyable parts, weren't there? I think some of us enjoyed some of it. We can say that much.
I enjoyed some of it.
Yeah. It was totally crap, but we got a good laugh out of it, I'd say. And the documentary footage was, some of it, quite interesting.
I would say so.
You know, that was fun to see how the Pitcairn Island people are doing. It had that going for it. It had some very, the transition to talkies. That's worth a mention. People acting as though they're genuinely terrified to be there. And they're gritting out every single line like they've got someone holding a knife to their back. Which
Laura,
is in the
tell
spirit
us
of the
the
film.
story of the bounty. I've never heard the truth of it.
Yeah, it wasn't a total waste of time.
Well, yeah, that's true. It was short.
It's a shoo-in for the category of film that wasn't a total waste of time. It might get mentioned again as well. That's. Oh yes, I bet. Fernando, can you introduce your pick?
Wait,
can you remember anything about it?
Wait, hadn't I already introduced my film? I said it had Rule Britannia.
Oh, was that your reason to vote for it?
Yes.
Cool, good enough for me.
Yeah, me too. Should we vote?
I don't think there's much more to say, is there?
I mean...
They're the most appalling film, and a film that was a proper film, at least. Yeah, so I vote for Mutiny on the Bounty, 1935.
Excellent.
Oh, I vote for the one that was a film.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. And Fernando?
Fernando, you never reviewed the 1935 Mutiny on the Bounty.
Well, that's because I didn't have a Letterboxd account. I did not have a Letterboxd account back then. Yes. I opened my Letterboxd account in 2021, I think, maybe?
I see.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, given that the film that I've nominated has already won this round, I'm going to vote for Laura's film.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
It's good that we had one vote for In the Wake of the Bounty.
Yes.
As we say, not a complete waste of time.
Just nearly a complete waste of time.
So that takes us through to the final, which I think is always going to be these are the big two.
Intense. Yeah. You wasted an opportunity to say it's Mutiny on the Bounty versus Mutiny on the Bounty.
I like that.
Two titans of Mutiny on the Bounty facing off against each other.
For the title of best film called Mutiny on the Bounty.
Yes, I'm going to say that the one that I was suggesting has Rule Britannia at the beginning, and I think also at the end. So why wouldn't you vote for it?
That's a good point.
The one that I suggested has Rule Britannia in the middle.
What?
It's in the scene where he has been... where
right.
Christian is ordered by Bligh to go and have sex with the daughter of the king so that he'll give them breadfruit. And he sails proudly ashore, standing up in his boat to go and do the deed. And it's the greatest scene in cinema history. So if it's Rule Britannia you're into, it's got a lot to offer. Next question.
Christian Fletcher is much more handsome in the 1935 version than the 1962 film.
Although Captain Bligh's more handsome in the 1962 film.
That's true.
You know,
but he
not
is
by much, but
the bad person.
I thought you and I were agreed that we sometimes like the baddie.
Well, sometimes. Sometimes.
Some people like a bad boy.
Is the 60s one the one with Marlon Brando where he thinks he's the Duke of Edinburgh?
Yes.
When he wears this stupid hat in bed.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he wears his nightie.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Can I just say I thought it was one of the best films I've ever seen. I said that at the time, but an epic, genuine epic.
I guess.
Are we ready? Is it time?
It must be time to vote. So I guess I go first.
How tense!
So I'm of course voting for 1962. Claire,
the 30s one.
Yeah,
amazing.
Fernando,
amazing. I'm also voting for the 1935.
Oh my god! Wow,
tragic.
What a twist in this category.
Well, would you care to award the category, Laura?
Well, I suppose I must do my duty.
Do your duty, sir.
So the winner is Mutiny on the Bounty.
Yay!
No need to specify
two
which
groups
one.
of people stand up to accept the award.
Mutiny on the Bounty, 1935. Who would have thought that was the best adaptation of the first one we watched?
Yeah.
From 1935. The best adaptation that we've seen.
To its credit, apparently the critics agree.
Do they?
Well, of course.
Yeah, much higher rated. You remember they have this weird thing where they don't think Marlon Brando was right for the role for some reason.
Is it because he was rubbish?
Well, allegedly.
That would explain it.
Best antagonist.
Yeah.
So this is my category?
Believe so.
My category? Yeah, best antagonist. Bit of a play on best villain. I'm open to some debate about whether antagonist includes outright villains. But I think it's subjective because, I mean, they could even be protagonists in some of our hearts. Maybe that'll come up.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, the best foil to a protagonist, the best character who wasn't necessarily the good guy or woman or person, but the one who was interesting and provoked some emotion in us with their antagonizing ways. Yes.
And I think I'm first to propose one here. And I'm going to propose Lady Eboshi from Princess Mononoke.
What do you think you're doing, boy?
Stay your hand. The girl's life is now mine.
I'm sure she'll make a lovely wife for you.
There's a demon inside of you. It's inside both of you. Look, everyone! This is what hatred looks like. This is what it does when it catches hold of you. It's eating me alive, and very soon now it will kill me. Fear and anger only make it grow faster.
I'm getting a little bored of this curse of yours, Ashitaka. Let me just cut the damn thing off!
Lady! Mine's going to be Chloe from The Ugly Dachshund.
Chloe from The Ugly Dachshund.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
So I picked Lady Eboshi because she's actually a brilliant character. She's got some depth. She's
Is she actually?
Yeah, she's actually not like the fucking dog from bullshit film we watched the other day. No, that's a good call. Bit of depth, bit of like darkness to her character. She's got a real evil streak, but at the same time, you find yourself rooting for her. She's got an amazing style. She's a philanthropist, and also, she's like trying to help people out, but also she wants to kill God. And I found her very compelling.
Great.
Okay.
Claire?
I chose Chloe because I think, since we're not talking about villains, we're talking about antagonists, and she was quite antagonistic. Although she wasn't evil, she wasn't a villain, and I found myself quite antagonised by her antics. And when we say best, can that mean cutest? So,
good question.
If it means cutest, then I'd really struggle to find someone who was a better antagonist.
Some compelling arguments there.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I thought Lady Eboshi was cute.
Cuter than Chloe?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, both compelling arguments, both morally grey characters.
Indeed.
Both bewitching.
I disagree. I think Chloe was evil through and through to her very core.
Evil?
I think a lot of what she did was pure malice.
Wow. You think the dog was vindictive?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's something in that. She was getting Brutus in trouble on purpose.
She was a dog.
No way she wasn't.
She destroyed the art studio. She was the ringleader of those other dogs.
She was a troublemaker. She was antagonistic. But she wasn't evil. She wasn't doing it because she wanted to hurt anyone. She just liked having fun. So I don't think she was necessarily bad. I think she was morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
You know?
Hmm.
And we never really got to know her motives, did we? There was a lot of depth to Chloe.
No, you're right.
as a character.
There was some mystery there.
Yeah. So
she was food motivated.
She was food
At
motivated.
certain points. Yes, at the party, she was after food that was being taken to Brutus, unless she actually just didn't want Brutus to have it.
I think that was it. I think it was just spite. I don't think she was even, that was not a dog that was kept hungry.
No.
But she was spoiled. Exactly. So maybe she just wanted the extra food for herself.
Oh, that dog. God, you're kind of winning me over. If it was most evil antagonist.
I take your point about Lady Eboshi, though. She was complex. I think we said that in our episode. She was very complex.
Yeah, we had
because
lots to
everything
say
she
about
did
her.
wasn't entirely... It wasn't malicious. It was for her own ends. But the philanthropy made her complicated. She was giving women a home and a purpose outside of...
Was she the key antagonist in Princess Mononoke?
To me, she was.
Yeah, I'd put her as the key antagonist. Who would you...
I don't think she was an antagonist. I think she was an enabler.
Whoa.
What
Could
do
you
mean?
develop that for us?
I mean, I think she had the right idea about the world, and everyone who was against her were the antagonists. She was just trying to lead the world to a better place.
I'm going to be taking some of that argument from my antagonist.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, she certainly was trying to help people, wasn't she? She was, and it was a complex film.
She just had a different value system,
Exactly.
which everyone outside of her immediate circle could happily die.
Antagonized.
And actually, she wasn't entirely opposed to Ashitaka, was she? If San was the protagonist, then Lady Eboshi was the antagonist, but Ashitaka was the protagonist, so he was just sort of in the middle of it all. God, maybe I'm going to vote for Chloe. Anyone got other thoughts?
Didn't go into this conversation expecting to say that, did you?
No.
I don't think you were the antagonist, Claire.
It's not in my top 7 that I shortlisted.
Yeah, I've got about 7.
She wasn't in my top 3 until we started the call, so
Just couldn't help yourself.
it's just more fun this way, isn't it? Maybe not, maybe just for me.
I do think if we're going to compare Chloe from The Ugly Dachshund with Lady Eboshi from Princess Mononoke, seriously, we do have to look at their depth, their character portraits, what we know about them, how well are they portrayed. And I'm going to say maybe The Ugly Dachshund might not capture the same amount of depth in Chloe.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more
Mononoke.
surface, isn't it?
Something in what you're saying there.
Potentially.
I agree that might not maybe have the same amount of depth. It has even more or greater depth.
You two. I nominate Claire and Fernando for the best antagonist.
It's certainly antagonizing us.
Okay, I think I know who I'm voting for.
I liked it better when we got to pretend that we had a vote.
we could carry on pretending.
I won't pretend.
Do you want to pretend first, then?
Okay, great. I vote for Lady Eboshi. Because I'm a serious practitioner of this film club.
Right.
Yeah, I think I also have to vote for Lady Eboshi, to be serious.
Okay.
Not that I think Chloe's an unserious option, but I would like to believe that you're voting for her genuinely.
Well, Claire. You're going to put your money where your mouth is?
Absolutely not. Lady Eboshi was a much better antagonist than Chloe.
Good stuff.
I'm voting for Chloe, given that I don't believe that Lady Eboshi was an antagonist.
Yep, fair point.
Fair. That's fair. Well, Lady Eboshi through to the head-to-head. Fernando, who's your nominee?
Well, I have to choose between two. I'm choosing between either... Fletcher is his name, I think. What's his name?
Fletcher Christian?
No, from Whiplash. Terence Fletcher, the conductor of the Schaefer Conservatory Studio Band.
Oh.
Or Gregory Anton from Gaslight.
Excellent shout.
Oh, yes.
Which of those are you going to pick, Gregory?
I'm going to go for maybe Terence Fletcher.
Terence Fletcher.
It's okay. Play. Do you think you're out of tune? What are you... There's no fucking Mars bar down there. What are you looking at? Look up here. Look at me. Do you think you're out of tune? Yes.
Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
I've carried your fat ass for too long, Metz. I'm not going to have you cost us a competition because your mind's on a fucking Happy Meal instead of on pitch. Jackson, congratulations, you're fourth chair. Metz, why are you still sitting there? Get the fuck out!
Yeah, he was an interesting character.
Mm.
My nomination is, just to surprise you all, Captain Bligh from 1962, Mutiny on the Bounty.
You will all of you, no doubt, command your own ship someday. Let us suppose that your vessel is running in heavy seas. The shrouds are covered with ice. A gale is blowing. It becomes necessary, in your opinion, to order a seaman aloft. He realizes, of course, that if his fingers slip from the icy shrouds for a split second, he'll perish immediately. Now, this is a typical seaman. A half-witted, wife-beating, habitual drunkard. His whole life is spent evading and defying authority. Tell me, sir, what is it that makes this man go aloft?
I think, depending on the man, sir, any number of things.
You can put it in one word. Fear. Fear of what you'll do to him. Fear of punishment so vivid in his mind that he fears it even more than sudden death. Now, don't mistake me. I'm not advising cruelty or brutality with no purpose. My point is that cruelty with purpose is not cruelty. It's efficiency. But a man will never disobey you. Once he's watched his mate's backbone laid bare, he'll remember those white ribs staring at him. He'll see the flesh jump and hear the whistle of the whip for the rest of his life.
I knew I could rely on you.
Is he an antagonist? He's antagonizing who?
Well, he's antagonizing Fletcher Christian. I'm going by ostensible antagonist. I don't believe. I mean, I think he does antagonize the protagonist, but that's not to cast any moral who was right, who was wrong on it. You know, antagonist really doesn't mean villain or evil, does it? It means the person who's there to foil the person who gets the most screen time.
Yes, and Captain Bligh is the captain.
Not your absolute deference to authority.
By the Royal Navy. So Christian Fletcher is the one antagonizing not only Captain Bligh, but Great Britain.
If I'm undone on this on my own category again.
I had forgotten the revisionist version of the film that we discussed. He was such a bad un in the 1962 version. Captain Bligh was a pure stone cold bastard.
Real Chloe.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so just to context, it was possibly my favourite performance that we've watched in Film Club. I love Trevor Howard. I thought he was so cool. He was, again, very morally grey, to the point possibly even a little on the naughty side. Actions were dubious, did lash some people, you know, drove the crew to mutiny, but, you know, heart of gold, I think. That's what you want in an antagonist. A real softie.
Gold. This man will be keel-hauled. Excellent choice of clip there, because you picked the one clip where he kind of explains himself and tries to sort of explain why what he's doing is not making him an antagonist, right?
Wait, what?
He's explaining why all the bad stuff he does is actually good.
Yeah, but he's still an antagonist.
Oh, yeah. Well, I quite agree.
I mean, yes. Well, to be fair, most of the, I'd say, antagonists or villains believe in what they're doing, apart from, say, the ones who are like the guy from that cricket film we watched, Lagan, or the Count of Monte Cristo, you know. They're straight up, they know they're evil.
Just comically evil villains, yeah.
Like Chloe.
Exactly like Chloe. The type I would normally go for. Yeah, I do think he's, we talked about Lady Eboshi being complex. I mean, Captain Bligh he's a complex man. He's a complicated guy with a complicated past.
Well said. Do you want to take us through Terence Fletcher?
Well, first of all, if Captain Bligh were such a good antagonist, then he would believe that he is an antagonizing people, except he doesn't believe that. So how good an antagonist can he be if he doesn't believe in his own?
I think this is an argument that uniquely works for your nomination. Who does believe in antagonizing people? But go ahead, you take us through your. What was your thought?
Well, yes, I think that Terence Fletcher was an excellent antagonizer because he's disguised as an enabler, as the professor, I guess, as the conductor, except all he wants is antagonize all his students and terrorizes them. And he's excellent at it. Instead of helping them become a great musicians, he terrorizes them until they quit music. What a great antagonizer.
I will give it. So Terence, the one that I would say in his favour, although obviously I'm going to hold fast to my own nomination, is when I was watching Whiplash, he had me like very tense. And I think that's a sign of a good antagonist / outright villain. Really puts you on edge when you're watching it because you just don't know when he's going to completely snap.
Yep.
Whereas I had lots more different emotions when I was watching Little Captain Bligh, from sympathy to I kind of want things to work out for him, but he's such a bastard.
Yeah, you hate Terence Fletcher a lot more. But Captain Bligh has more authority.
Does he?
Owned the screen. I couldn't take my eyes off him.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
I would have said the same about Terence Fletcher.
Oh.
He was a dominating presence. I think they had very different ways of
managerial styles.
Yes, I think Terence Fletcher would have captured the bounty in the exact same way, but got all the breadfruit to the place they were meant to go to. Nobody would have mutinied against Terence Fletcher.
They'd all just be desperately. It would have been that one guy on the deck drumming during the mutiny scene. Would have just been playing this insane. This insane fill that just everyone would just lose their mind over how brilliant it was and start clapping
while he's screaming in their face, like, "Drum harder!"
So I think the difference between these two characters is Terence Fletcher was evil by being totally extra, as the children would say, but he was like he really hammed it up, like made it big. Whereas Captain Bligh was brilliant by toning it down. He was just, everything he said was calm, was cool, and just, he was ice cold. Whereas Terence Fletcher was red hot.
It was, what's Shere Khan versus, like, I don't know, Ursula.
Tigger.
No, Captain Hook. He exploded for no reason. I think he was.
Well, Laura, since your vote doesn't count, maybe you should go first each time.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to vote for Captain Bligh. He's my sweetheart.
Cool. Noted. I'm voting for Captain Bligh.
I'm voting for Captain Bligh.
Yeah.
That is a shock twist.
Savage. I'm voting for Captain Bligh.
Savage.
So it's Lady Eboshi or Captain Bligh?
Should we go straight to certain death, or do you want to debate it a bit more?
Anyone want to take the floor?
No, I think I know who I'm voting for.
Me too.
I'm conflicted.
Mm.
I'm no longer conflicted.
They both have depth. They both had a bit of depth.
Yeah,
They're both
certainly.
antagonists. Bligh was more evil. But
I don't know. Lady
was
Eboshi tried to kill God.
That's true. Yeah, that's pretty
She tried
bad.
to destroy the entire forest and all the spirits living within it. I'd say that's a bit worse than just trying to do your job.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. You needed to get the breadfruit back to the Caribbean.
For the slaves.
That's all there was to it. He was a hero, really. There we are. Okay, I've decided.
Okay, me too. Do I go first?
Yeah, since it's just ceremonial.
I'm voting for Captain Bligh.
Yeah, I'm voting for Captain Bligh. He was he was a real antagonist. I felt antagonised.
Oh, I'm voting for Lady Eboshi.
Fernando, casting vote.
So, in a change of heart, I do believe that Lady Eboshi is an antagonist.
Oh, how convenient!
Tactical voting going on here from the anti-Mutiny on the Bounty lobby.
I'm going to vote for Lady Eboshi.
Wow.
By what authority?
Are we doing honourable mentions now?
Yes, please.
Because I very nearly picked King James I
So did
from
I.
Cromwell, and I had my impression all ready to go. Yeah, definite honourable mention for King James I.
Is it Charles? King Charles, I think.
Oh, sorry, King Charles I.
By what authority?
But first I would know by what authority I was brought here and carried about I know not what. Honourable mention also for Darth Vader.
Yep, got him.
Not the best film, but like top quality antagonist.
Really good. I mean, it's kind of criminal that we didn't nominate him, but I had other fish to fry, so sorry, Dad.
And I was surprised no one mentioned Barnaby from Babes
I also
in
had him
Toyland.
on my list. He was so close to getting it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
I loved Barnaby. Really
It's very
saved
much
that
the,
film.
yes, very much the hammed up school of antagonism rather than the downplayed subtle art.
I was going to suggest Eleanor Islin from The Manchurian Candidate.
Oh, that's a good one.
As the stealth antagonist. She was actually driving a lot of the plot without actually being overtly antagonistic. I thought that was... And any way to get Angela Lansbury a prize.
Yep, she deserves one. Maybe we should have an Angela Lansbury award at the end.
Yeah.
One last one I was almost going to do, Barry Lyndon. But I thought there'd be I'd get too much heat because he's definitely a protagonist. But
Yeah,
I think he
thought
slips
of him
into
as like a
antagonist.
villain, but it's hard to know. I wasn't rooting for him by the end.
No. Yeah. Another complicated guy.
I also thought DuPont would make a good antagonist.
Who's DuPont?
DuPont from Dark Waters, the company.
Oh, yes.
Can a company be an antagonist? I guess so.
I guess so, yeah.
I was actually going to suggest perfluoroacids, but I thought that might be a bit...
Yes, please!
You can't pick a chemical.
You picked a dog instead.
Well, would you like to award the prize then, Laura?
Yes. The best antagonist goes to Lady Eboshi.
Beautiful.
Boo. No, she's good. A worthy winner.
Lady Eboshi, I'm really happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. But Captain Bligh had one of the best monologues of all time. Of all time. Well, that was the Grammys, wasn't it? Not the Oscars. So, Claire, do you want to introduce the next category?
Yes, the next category is Best Animal.
The classic.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, would you like more introduction?
No, well.
Great. I've already forgotten who's going first.
Fernando. Fernando, Laura, Michael, Claire.
Great.
Okay. Well, in that case, I nominate Moro no Kimi, which is the giant wolf and Sans adopted mother from Princess Mononoke.
How? Will you join forces with Sun and fight the humans?
No. All that would do is cause more hatred.
Should we just stop there?
I was going to nominate Moro.
Anything you can say to justify that?
She is a giant wolf.
Yep.
She protects the forest. She likes the environment. And she's the mother to a princess.
That gives her some kind of divine, something.
Laura, what have you got?
I am going with Captain Black. No, Mushu.
Mushu. Who was Mushu?
From Mulan.
The dragon.
Well, that's just because this needs a little spit, that's all. Let me shine this up for you. I can see you looking. You look so pretty. The truth is, we're both frauds. Your ancestors never sent me. They don't even like me. I mean, you risked your life to help people you love. I risked your life to help myself. At least you had good intentions.
What? What do you mean you're not lucky?
You lied to me?
And what are you, a sheep?
Donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So I guess I nominate Donkey.
That's going to be a hard sell.
Why Mushu?
Mushu is just good animal, I guess. Technically an animal. He's a dragon. I guess Eddie Murphy is carrying a lot of this nomination. I think the voice talents of Eddie Murphy deserve to be celebrated. You know what? He's a wonderful character actor and provides much needed humour to Mulan, the film.
Yep.
So the trouble in Mulan is that he's one of 8 million animal companions, isn't he?
Yeah.
There are too many animal companions in Mulan.
Yeah, there's the cricket and there's the horse, right?
Yes. And the hawk.
And the hawk. I'm going to say he's fourth best out of all of those.
You're joking.
Yeah. In fact, I was doing my short list of candidates and one of them, some way down, is Hayabusa, the falcon that belongs to the villain. Had to look that one up on Disney Wiki. That would have been my pick for best Mulan animal.
Well, you're drunk, so...
Yeah, that's true. I can't deny it. I am very drunk.
That's good. I'm willing to go into more detail, but I guess should we hear more about Moro, or how do we do this?
I have to say I'm more sold on the wolf here. I mean, Mushu
that was
pretty
my
annoying. And
first nomination was Moro, and it was taken from me. So this is a bit of a backup. But to be fair, I was a bit torn. I really like Eddie Murphy. I like Mushu. I think he's got a lot of snappy one-liners.
He certainly has a lot of one-liners, and they're short.
Yes, they're very short. What about that bit when Mulan's having a bath in the river, naked, and then those men get in, and then Mushu says, "Oh, we're doomed. There are a couple of things I know they're bound to notice."
Good one.
That's one of Mushu's classic lines.
Yeah. Was he a bit annoying?
I don't find him annoying at all.
Is that your entire point? Is that he makes a breast joke? 'Cause-
I don't think Moro makes any breast jokes, so...
No, that's true. So if that was the one criterion we were using...
Well, best animal. We can take that how we want, right? Sassiest animal.
Yeah, he's definitely the sassiest.
Very sassy. I think he drives the plot forward. I can't remember if Moro drives the plot forward. Well, there's a bit where Mulan is about to give up and go home, and his inspirational speech drives her to go and find the Huns in the Imperial City.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that not everyone entirely selfish, though?
I think by that point he's accepted that he's not a very good guardian.
Okay. So he has a journey?
He has an emotional journey, certainly. Yeah.
Can't say that about Moro.
No, I don't think Moro does have an emotional journey.
Already incredible at the start.
Yeah.
Oh, not much room for growth.
Anyway, should we hear about Moro?
Yeah. Why would you suggest Moro, Fernando?
Well, Moro is violent. She kills other animals. She likes blood. Basically, because of that. And she's a feminist. She doesn't go around making breast jokes.
That's true. Is that enough to be a feminist?
I thought that was...
It's a good start.
I thought that was all you had to do to be a feminist.
I know lots of feminists who make breast jokes.
And they're not feminists.
No, you don't.
I love it when men tell me that I'm not a feminist.
You're not. I'm going to say Moro was a deeply flawed character.
Okay, let's hear more about why Moro was flawed.
Moro was cool character.
Flawed.
Very, very interesting to look at, but flawed because she was very stubborn, very aggressive, no room for compromise. That a lot of what we talked about with Princess Mononoke was these warring factions unable to compromise and recognize each other's needs, and Moro really didn't help with that. Ashitaka was really trying to sort of broker a deal there, and I think Moro was probably a big part of where San got her stubbornness from, and in that way, I thought that was a problem with Moro, and you can't say that about Mushu.
No.
Who had no depth in any way.
His emotional intelligence grew throughout the film.
That's true.
Yes. Moro's did not. I'm beginning to think Moro. We just like Moro because she's a giant wolf.
Yeah.
That's
she's animated really cool.
Coolest looking animal, maybe.
She's the coolest looking animal, certainly. But,
On the other hand, Mushu killed that stone statue dragon, right?
Yes, the gargoyle.
Went over and stood on it and broke it up in such a way that it seems it was never able to recover. And he was deceptive. He lied to the ancestors.
You've got to have a low beginning in order to have a rise and fall again. That's filmmaking. He's a morally grey character.
Yeah.
That then learns some decency and loyalty and, like Claire said, he goes on a journey. We go with him.
He was a hero by the end.
By the end, he saved China.
Yeah, and all the ancestors had a hip-hop party.
They did. They had a total pop party.
You started to win me over.
Well, let's think that Mushu was so essential to Mulan that he did not merit a place in the remake of Mulan. So...
Really?
He does not appear in the new Mulan version, no.
Wow, that's a travesty. That's not even a remake. I don't know how I'm going to vote here.
This is exciting that I've pulled back Mushu a little bit here.
I
don't know how I'm going to vote either, because to be honest, Moro was my first choice because Can't get much cooler than a big giant wolf. Yeah, with bloody muzzles and, shaggy fur that you could bury your face in, and sand rides around on her back and stuff. That's cool stuff. I'd like
cool.
that animal as a, in my life. Whereas you're right, if Mushu was in my daily life, I think I'd find him incredibly annoying. But in terms of film characters, Mushu ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Should we vote?
So I'm going to go for Moro. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Laura. It has to be Moro.
Fair enough.
But you fought valiantly.
Talk to you.
Fernando, are you sticking with it?
I'm deliberating. This is going to be a hard choice. Okay, in the end, after much thinking, I think I'm going to go for Moro.
You did the right thing. Thank you.
Yeah. My vote would have been Mushu, because I'm a committed Disney adult.
That's good. So Moro goes through. So Claire and I have got our nominees, and I'm going to go for another Princess Mononoke character, Yakul, the gazelle,
elk,
the elk that Ashitaka rides around on. I thought he was a brilliant character. He's there from the start. He's in like the very first scene. But he's fast. He's loyal. He's powerful. I felt that he was kind of the link between the humans and the animals. He was kind of Ashitaka's connection to the animal world. We saw this when they were like going through the forest, and Ashitaka said, "Oh, Yakul's not scared, so we have nothing to be frightened of." And he did everything there, and he almost gave his life for Ashitaka once, and he was wonderful. He's the animal you'd want with you on a dangerous journey, much more so than Mushu. And I'm going to say even Moro. So that's my pick.
Interesting. So I've got some silly suggestions, obviously. But I think just because of its significance and symbolism, I'm going for the mouse in The Last Emperor.
Open the door! Open the door!
I was going to nominate the mouse. Yes. I like your proposition. I like your nomination.
Excellent. Yeah. I feel like it symbolised so much more than just being a mouse. It was the part of the emperor, whose name I've forgotten, that
Puyi.
That he never quite lost.
Puyi, poor me.
It also symbolizes the passage from life to celestial life.
Mm-hmm.
So, an excellent choice.
Thank you.
That mouse made me sad.
Mouse made me sad too. It's hard
And
being
mouse
a mouse.
made me reflect upon life. No, I really like that nomination. I think I'm going to know. I already know who I'm voting for.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's a tough choice.
It was a good animal. It was just like a little fucking mouse that didn't do anything, right? It meant something, but
The mouse itself, we didn't get much insight into what the mouse was thinking or feeling.
didn't have much character. Didn't have any
Don't know one-liners.
witty one-liners.
Yeah, okay, so it didn't make many jokes about breasts. But
No jokes about breasts.
And Puyi would have been an absolute, you really could have torn him apart for the breast jokes.
Yeah.
He would have, he'd have loved that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I liked the mouse very quickly. I felt very attached to the mouse. And then when she died, I was very sad about it, as you say.
It was sad.
Sad thinking about it. It was very difficult to... Like, the character can't possibly be, like, rubbish and not important if you're sad when they die.
That's a good measure of things, actually, for all the animals that we mentioned, how much emotion they provoke in us. Because Moro, I think, would win over Mushu. Worthy winner.
Yes.
It makes you feel more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something. I'm thinking, though, the mouse made me really sad when it died. But so did Yakul. Do you remember the bit when Yakul gets injured, but he doggedly is still trying to limp after Ashitaka?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Beautiful moment.
Are you ready, Fernando?
Oh no, this is going to be too
hard.
hard.
You said you were ready, and now you've got cold feet.
I'm voting for the mouse.
Oh no. Laura?
Oh, I love mice so much. No, I'm voting for Yakul. I'm voting for Yakul.
Yeah. Well, I'm voting for Yakul as well. I mean, the mouse, yeah, that's good character, but yeah.
This vote was rigged.
Yeah, the Princess Mononoke lobby has really taken over this entire awards so far, actually.
Yeah. Conspiracy.
So, and Claire, would you have stuck with Puyi's mouse?
Yes, Puyi's mouse.
Yeah. Oh, well. Sorry about
that. Yakul versus Moro.
Yeah, we've got two Princess Mononoke characters. Anyone have any thoughts?
Is Moro a god?
Yes.
I think so.
Exactly. What else do you want in an animal?
Animals.
It's an animal and god.
Yeah.
It's not a good god, though, is it?
Well, that's because good gods don't exist.
Whoa. Maybe you're right. But good animals do exist.
Yeah, but you have to be not a very good animal because you're already a god, so you're unforgiving and you're only there to punish other ones.
Oh, can you be the best animal if you're not even a good animal?
Yeah. Good animals only die.
New proverb just dropped.
Yeah.
You could write a song about that.
Good animals only die. So I'd like to stick with Yakul here, because, as mentioned, Moro was really added to the conflict of the film. Was stubborn and aggressive, and not entirely a good influence on everything that was happening. Whereas Yakul was good to the core, the best animal.
I'm just going to read a paragraph from ghibli.fandom.com.
Great.
Excellent.
So apparently she's 300 years old. Moro is 300 years old.
Is that it?
And she possesses divine power and intelligence, as well as being able to understand and speaking human languages. I mean, what other animal does that? Moro is very wise.
The boar god does. The gorilla god does.
I forgot about the boar god. Oh, that's the animal.
I was going to nominate the boar god.
Ooh.
And she's capable of empathy because when San was just a baby, Moro caught her parents violating her forest and attacked them. San's parents then threw their baby at Moro's feet and sacrificed and ran away. Instead of eating her, Moro raised San as their own daughter. So there you go, empathy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, that might have just
one of the characters.
That might have just won me around.
I mean, Yakul also didn't eat San.
Right,
I'll go so far as to say none of the animals in any of the films that we watched ate San. Also, the story you just told started with Moro attacking the humans.
Deservedly. She's a defender of the forest.
Well, I suppose so.
Does it Yakul defends? No, he probably does defend the forest, to be fair. That's a lot of what those animals do.
Right, but in a goofier sort of way. Not in a cool sort of way. I feel like I relate more to Yakul.
Yeah, Yakul. I see you in Yakul.
Thanks.
I could vote.
No, I'm gonna read another quote by Moro.
Please, go ahead.
So she says, "The trees cry out as they die, but you cannot hear them. I lie here. I listen to the pain of the forest and feel the ache of the bullet in my chest. And I dream of the day I finally crunch that gun woman's head in my jaws."
Oh,
It's
that's
a bit emo, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Bit more Putin than Gandhi, isn't it?
No, more Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Maybe she does have more layers than Yakul.
Is Yakul even an animal?
I think the question is, Moro even an animal? Moro's a god, as we said.
What is an animal?
Oh no, we're into semantics again.
I'm glad you asked, because I
Humans
almost
are animals.
nominated Chewbacca, so...
I thought long and hard about Chewbacca.
This is tough.
This is tough. I mean, I'd definitely rather
guys.
have Yakul as a companion than Moro, but does that make him the best animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, one's a companion and one is a god.
You voted for Mushu over Moro. What are you talking about now?
I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm a complicated human being.
Oh, well.
Let's vote.
Okay. Fernando?
Moro.
Laura?
Yakul.
I vote Yakul as well.
Oh, no.
Claire, who would you have voted for?
Moro.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry about that. Would you care to award the prize?
Yeah,
Claire?
apparently. The best animal. And the award, the secret Oscar for best animal, goes to Yakul.
Woo! Woo! Yeah!
Savage. How can a non-animal win the best animal?
Honorary. Oh, yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, the honorary mentions. What have we got?
Cockroaches from Enchanted.
Nice. I had Pip from Enchanted, the chipmunk.
Nice.
I got the lamb that upstages Jesus in Ben-Hur.
Interesting, I had the sheep from Barry Lyndon.
Nice. Okay. Brutus from the Ugly Dachshund.
I had the CGI dinosaur that rears up on the screen in the version of Star Wars that only I saw.
Yes. That was not a film that any of us picked, so that wouldn't be allowed. Got the big fish from Big Fish. No, I think we did well not to nominate most of these. And I should point out we've done 4 awards so far, and 3 of them have been won by Princess Mononoke.
Wow. What a cleanup.
Yeah, this is well, we'll see what happens with the rest of them. Should we do the next category?
Yeah.
Excellent. Fernando, do you want to introduce it?
Yes, I've forgotten what the name of the category is because it was so long.
Who's got it written down?
The best film in the category of films that I've forgotten my own category.
Would you like one of us to read it out?
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Well, Fernando's category today is the best film in the category of films that made us reflect on our lives and helped us either to make some changes to it or feel more comfortable with the lives that we have.
Beautiful. Excellent. Yes, that is the category indeed.
Excellent stuff. Now, I'm glad that it's unambiguous. But is there anything you want to add to that? What brought you to suggest this?
Well, when one is thinking what category to suggest in a Secret Oscars podcast, well, naturally one starts thinking what natural possibilities are there, and this is one of those natural that comes immediately to mind when one has a Secret Oscars.
You're right, it's obvious, really, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just a straight copy of, the real Oscars categories, isn't it?
Yeah. I've kind of been thinking of it as like life-changing or life-affirming film, but don't want to be as glib as to suggest something as short as that. So, Laura,
I think I've been very torn. I've thought about it a lot. I think I'm going to go Speed Cubers.
Nice.
Speed Cubers is good.
As a baby, as soon as we brought him home, I felt something was a little off.
I want to get 3 seconds. Come on.
As a child, Max was diagnosed with autism.
We had a Rubik's Cube in the house, so he just wanted to solve.
We didn't know that he was just going to rapid fire down this rabbit hole.
From United States of America, Max.
The first time I met Max was actually at the World Championships, and he was very, very excited. After he broke the 3x3 world record, I was just like, oh, really well done, you should be really proud.
Clearly, they're rivals, but they're friends.
Ah, look who it is. Hey, Max.
What for? Top 3, right?
Top 3, that's all.
In the world, right?
It made me reflect on my hobbies and passions and how I hope to join a community of niche people who share those hobbies and passions. And it's okay to become so invested in something that you neglect all other aspects of your life. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
There we go.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wow, this is going to be good.
Did it make you want to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube?
It did. Very passionate, very strongly. I want to be able to solve Rubik's Cubes. I want to solve Rubik's Cubes, and I want to marry Felix. What's his name from the Speed Cubers?
Never give up on your dreams. Well, my pick is Whiplash.
Are you going to tell them about your game this week, huh? Living up to your title?
What up? I scored a 93-yard touchdown.
School record.
That's true.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's Division 3.
It's Carlton football. It's not even Division 2. It's Division 3.
Got any friends, Andy?
No.
Oh, why's that?
I don't know. I just never really saw the use.
Oh, who are you going to play with otherwise? Lennon and McCartney, they were school buddies, am I right?
Charlie Parker didn't know anybody until Joe Jonas threw a symbol at his head.
So that's your idea of success, huh?
I think being the greatest musician of the 20th century is anybody's idea of success.
Dying broke and drunk and full of heroin at the age of 34 is not exactly my idea of success.
I'd rather die drunk, broke at 34 and have people at a dinner table talk about me than live to be rich and sober at 90 and nobody remember who I was.
Ah, but your friends will remember you. That's the point.
None of us were friends with Charlie Parker. That's the point.
Travis and Dustin, they have plenty of friends and plenty of purpose.
I'm sure they'll make great school board presidents someday.
Oh, that's what this is all about? You think you're better than us?
Catch on quick, are you gonna model you in?
I got a reply for you, Andrew. You think Carlton football's a joke? Come play with us.
4 words you will never hear from the NFL.
Who wants dessert?
And from Lincoln Center?
Ooh.
Because it made me think about my life, and it made me realise that you shouldn't just become obsessed with one thing to the exclusion of everything else and abandon all the good stuff in your life in the pursuit of this one thing. It reminded me that we should have a rounded and balanced life where we allow ourselves to fall in love with things other than Rubik's Cubes / drums. And it reminded me that a little gentle encouragement can be a lot more effective and a lot better for people than intensive, aggressive, obsession.
Not if you want to become the best at drumming.
Well, this is the question, right?
When we watched Whiplash together, was that the first time you watched Whiplash? Does that mean that you perhaps would not have done a PhD in mathematics had you watched Whiplash beforehand?
I would have... my problem when I was doing my PhD was not that I was working too hard and I was too motivated. Let's put it that way. The film that sort of summed up my PhD experience was a bit more... I don't know.
Babes in Toyland?
With Nell
Babes
and I.
in Toyland. A bit, yeah, with Nell and I. That's a good one. Maybe Winnie the Pooh. that was pretty much my life. So Whiplash, I found to be an interesting cautionary tale.
Very good.
Wow. Well,
where do we go from here?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because they're both films about obsession and becoming the best in the world at something. But in Speedcubers, the best in the world takes on a mentoring role for the up-and-coming future best in the world and encourages him and brings him out of his shell. So they're both about, as you say, Laura, like making something your entire life. It's just one of them does it in a way that's not horribly toxic and murderous to some extent. So maybe the problem isn't the obsession in Whiplash, it's the guy being a dick.
Well put.
So if your lesson, Michael, was don't be a dick, I'd be with you.
Yep.
But maybe not don't be obsessed with one thing, because we know that you can do that safely.
Okay.
Yes, in Speedcubers it brought them community instead of total and utter isolation. I suppose that was the part I was reflecting on, was that this gave us a lovely warm sense of being connected to other people, even when they were cubing by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is where the very careful wording of the category comes in, right? I think we've established that these are both films that made us reflect on our lives and either make some changes or feel more comfortable. But which one was the best film?
I'd still argue Speedcubers, because I felt so emotional during Speedcubers. I seem to remember that I had some kind of emotional breakdown at the end of it.
Wow.
Because I was just so invested in Max and Felix. They were just so lovely. I loved following their little lives. Whereas Whiplash...
I loved Felix so much.
I loved Felix so much.
Actually, I remember Whiplash being kind of a bad film.
It made me uncomfortable. I liked Whiplash, though, more than you did.
Yeah, looking back on it, I don't think it was very good. And I did quite like Speedcubers, so I think I've changed my mind. Claire?
I vote for Speedcubers.
Savage.
Laura?
Speedcubers.
Well, given that all of you have voted, my mind was torn as in I did not know which movie was more transformative. So I'm glad that my vote doesn't count. But now that you've all voted for Speedcubers, I feel compelled to vote for Whiplash.
Excellent.
That's appropriate.
Nice. Thank you. Just being difficult as usual.
Great.
So I've gone with a slightly different take on it, and I nominate Heartbeats.
Qui est cet androïde?
C'est sa mère. Elle s'appelle Désirée. Il me l'a présenté il y a 2 secondes. Elle m'a dit que j'avais l'air d'une femme au foyer des années 50. Je peux bien parler avec son look de spire du Capitaine Spock. Au moins, j'ai pas l'air d'une pétasse assoiffée d'un Manhattan désuet.
Oui, mais ta robe est légèrement anachronique.
Pardon? C'est vintage, je te ferai remarquer.
So nearly nominated Heartbeat. Sorry, go on.
Be interested to know if it's for the same reasons.
It won't be.
But when I was younger, so much younger than today, I would have watched that film and I would just have been caught up in the romance and coolness of it all. And it was a bit awkward and difficult, but there would have been something about that lifestyle that made me think that's the life I should be aspiring to as a young 20s person. And now I watch it and I'm really glad I don't have to be cool or socialise or leave the house ever. And it just made me very happy with the life I've got.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It showed the awkward and complicated part of being in a 3-way relationship where everyone's having sex all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm just okay with that not being something to aspire to.
Well done.
Lovely.
Yeah, thanks.
I did not know which film to nominate, so looking at the list of films that we've watched, perhaps there would be a couple of them that I could nominate, and so I'm going to go for... Well, I'm nominating So Long, My Son, even though I cannot truly remember what it was all about, given that it was a really long film.
那会儿全国之星到大返城，走成的没走成的，在分别的时候，都像是生离死别。我们要走的时候，不知道谁偷偷唱起这首歌，我们一听都哭得稀里哗啦的。当时哪听过这个呀？对吧，一鸣？是啊，终身难忘。
But why am I nominating this song? Yes, so long, my son. My son. Well, basically because it's about life and people going through life. And what else did I think when I was watching it? I was like, yeah, I guess this is life.
That's deep.
People forgiving other people for horrible things that they have done in the past. But that were probably not their fault, or maybe they were their fault, but they were just too young to understand what they were doing. Hence my nomination.
Yeah. Did it help you either to make some changes to your life or to feel more comfortable with the life that you have? If you say no, I'm just voting for Claire's.
Yes, I'm going to. I have to say yes, right? Why did it make me feel more comfortable with my life? Because
you don't live in communist China.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not because of that. Because I just feel, maybe because I thought that maybe I could be living in communist China, and maybe I felt related, even though I was not technically in communist China. My life felt as if I had been living all this time in communist China. I was like, yes, I guess I now see why people think that I am Chinese. Because my life...
you look Chinese.
Because this film so represents me that when people see me, they see this film.
I see.
Sorry, are you not Chinese then?
Part of me is. I feel like if I were to take a 23andMe, or is that what it's called? 23andMe test, I'm willing to bet that at least 40% of some quantity in me is Chinese.
Great.
Bold statements. Some compelling arguments.
Thank you.
Can I just say I came close to nominating Heartbeats because it did make me reflect on my life, but I realised I didn't satisfy the second half of the category because it absolutely made me so much more uncomfortable with the life that I lead.
Did it help you to make some changes to your life?
No, not in any way, I don't think. I think I've just been like, well, I'm just going to ignore that.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep having very destructive crushes on people and attempted to change who I am in order to fit what that person wants.
Yeah. So far I've heard one convincing case that Heartbeats fits this category and no convincing case that So Long My Son does. It didn't really make me reflect on my life.
Well, the category isn't the best film in the category of films that made you personally reflect on your life. Is it?
That made us reflect on our lives, yeah.
Is it us?
It says that made us reflect on our lives and helped us either make some changes to it or feel more comfortable with the lives that we have. So it's us.
Well, if it is us, Heartbeats didn't make me want to make changes to my life or make me more comfortable with the life I had. If anything, it made me really uncomfortable with the decisions I was making in a way that has only fueled my my desperation to, whatever.
I think it is helping you make some changes to your life, and the fact that you are refusing that help, it doesn't make it any less. It's really led you to water.
I think so long my son has led me to revolutionary politics.
Has it? Interesting.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
This is silly.
So I think that So Long My Son made me reflect on society more, but not on my individual life.
Sorry to interrupt, but there's no such thing as society.
That's my whole point, man. We're all just grooving here. Let's vote.
I think we should, shouldn't we? Laura?
I'm still going to vote for So Long My Son.
I'm going Heartbeats.
I'm going Heartbeats. That's fair.
What would you have said, Fernando?
I think I have been convinced, yes. So probably Heartbeats.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Leads us to the final then. The Speed Cubers versus Heartbeats.
Oh, man. Did not see these two being in the final of a category together.
No.
I mean, okay, with Heartbeats.
Uh-huh.
Now, I did enjoy Heartbeats. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But did it make you reflect on your life in any way that wasn't, well, I'm glad my life's not like that? Because many films could. So Long My Son could fit that. I'm glad my life's not like that.
But that was the category, wasn't it?
Well, the category was, what specifically did it make you reflect on? Not just, phew, that's not me. Where Speed Cubers was more positive. It was a positive affirmation.
It didn't make me want to make any changes to my life, nor did it make me particularly happy with the life I've got. Instead, what it made me think was, oh, that's nice.
Interesting. Whereas, well, for Heartbeats, again, as for me, it made me think, God, you're a psycho crazy person. Why do you keep getting these obsessive crushes that ruin your entire life? Is there not more to the world than just chasing after men?
As an example of which I could, highlight Felix from Speed Cubers.
Well, exactly. That's exactly my point. I haven't changed at all. I'm not comfortable with that. Speed Cubers is affirming me. I could get Felix if I learned how to cube.
Oh, you learn nothing from Heartbeats.
Yeah, it's almost enough to convince me.
To be fair, okay, I think we can accept that both of these films made us reflect on our lives in some way.
Yeah.
So which is the better film?
So yeah, that's what it comes down to, the best film in the category.
Mm.
The Speed Cubers or Heartbeats, they're both good films.
They were both good films. To the letterboxd.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I gave it 3 stars, Fernando gave it 3 stars, Laura gave it 4 stars. That's Heartbeats.
4 stars, wow.
I feel like Speed Cubers might have a 5, though.
That would be outrageous if anyone gave that 5. No, I gave it 3, Laura gave it 4.
Oh, tied.
Yeah.
Well,
I gave it 0.
Yeah. Fernando didn't give it any stars.
I guess I only need to decide how many stars I gave it. I didn't need to vote based on whether you guys liked it, right?
Yes.
The best film.
For all of us, though.
And the best film is... Okay, I think I can vote.
Oh, Savage, no. This is so tense.
Oh. Do you know what I can vote to?
I'm ready to vote.
Okay, Laura, take it away.
Heartbeat.
Yep. Oh, girl, you really have learned nothing. I pick Heartbeats as well.
Me too.
I would have voted for Heartbeats as well, yes.
Oh, glad we all agree on something.
Wow. Beautiful. So, the best film in the category of films that made us reflect on our lives and helped us either make some changes to it or feel more comfortable with the lives that we have is not Princess Mononoke, interestingly. It is Heartbeats. Congratulations.
Lovely. Any honourable mentions?
Withnail and I also made me feel really glad that I don't live that life.
Yeah.
Ben-Hur finally accepted Jesus into my life.
That's good. Princess Mononoke made me think about de-escalating tensions and being a good negotiator.
Society. Oh well.
Cromwell.
But yeah, it's not quite there.
Thank God that we still have the king.
I think Heartbeats was a good pick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
This evening on categories for us to talk about, I suggest we choose the best soundtrack, and that's the entire introduction.
So start with Fernando and Laura's picks. What have you got?
Okay. So my nomination for best soundtrack is Mulan. Disney songs is in that film. It's called Reflection, and not only that, but the rest of the music, well, the rest of the songs are quite good. I often see myself listening to those songs on YouTube more than 5 times a week, I would say.
Whoa!
Wow,
that's a lot.
I mean, my runner-up would have been The Bounty, because it has one of the greatest songs on earth, which is, what was it called again? Rule Britannia. Yes. But I think that this time Mulan wins, so that's why I'm nominating Mulan.
Okay.
Amazing.
I forgot about all the synth in The Bounty. That's thrown a spanner into the works.
Well then, do you have a nomination?
Yes. I have a choice that I want to make, and then a sensible choice that I think deserves it, but it's not the choice of my heart.
Oh, go with your heart, Laura.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Go with my heart?
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to pick Highlander.
No, don't go with your heart, Laura.
I can't believe you told Laura to go with her heart.
I should have known better.
What?
Right, moving on.
It's Queen.
Of course.
It's like one of the best bands of all time.
Oh, I can't believe
they wrote Who Wants to Live Forever for the film.
Who wants to live forever?
Who dares to live forever?
Oof.
Wish I wasn't in my parents' house.
Do you know, listening back to the podcast after we recorded that one, I really felt I should have called you out on it. It didn't quite occur to me until we were there. When you said Queen they watched the film and they were inspired to write Who Wants to Live Forever by the power of the film and the concept in that scene. And I realised afterwards that's complete bullshit. Like they were hired and someone said, we're going to give you a load of money. Can you write some music for this film? It was a bit like saying I was working at the supermarket and I was inspired to put some tins of beans on the shelf.
In the interviews for the Barbie film, Greta Gerwig is like Billie Eilish. She gave her some of the footage and asked her to write Barbie's Heart song, and she was inspired by what she was looking at, and she wrote a beautiful song because she was so inspired by the footage that she saw. She was still paid for it. You can commission artists. We're not all working pro bono.
They gave her the footage and a massive check.
Oh, I suppose
I wonder
all
which
art
one was
is
more
free,
inspiring.
is it? You shouldn't pay anyone to do anything creative.
I think it's okay that Queen decided to write that, but I don't think we should romanticise what led to them doing it.
Oh yeah, we just cut all the arts funding because they're not truly inspired unless they're doing it for free. They could have phoned it in. They could have just written, "Look at this old woman. She's aging." I don't know. Anyway, that's my pick. I've picked it now. There's no going back.
So, Fernando, 5 times a week?
Okay, maybe not 5 times a week.
Mulan, some cool songs, fit well with the film.
Is that part of the criteria for best soundtrack?
I reckon it should be. A good soundtrack goes with the film, doesn't it?
It's a bit of an asterisk.
I think.
Well, if I put on a soundtrack to a film to listen to afterwards, interesting.
That would be best album, wouldn't it?
Well, best curated compilation of songs that were in a film.
Oh, well.
But no, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm probably going to vote for Milan, to be honest.
Does anyone have any suggestions for why we should pick Highlander?
One argument in favour of Highlander was, isn't it so great when you're watching that film, especially for you guys if you didn't like it, and suddenly a Queen song comes on and you get to listen to Queen for a bit.
That's true. It was a reprieve from the rest of the film in some ways.
It finishes on It's a Kind of Magic.
Yeah. In fairness, I do love Queen. Like, there's
they're amazing. Love Queen.
I find them acceptable. So I pick Mulan.
I also pick Mulan.
I pick Mulan.
Yeah.
It's unanimous.
Laura? Yes, it's unanimous. That's what I wanted to hear. It could have been worse. Highlander didn't have the worst soundtrack. Probably not top 10 for me. So now we've got Claire and me. I'm going to pick Star Wars.
Oh.
Exactly. What an iconic soundtrack. John Williams doing some of his best work. Not a particularly amazing film, but really carried by these sweeping scores. It must be 4 or 5 different tunes in there that you could conceivably hum on your way out of the cinema. Most films, even a film with a fairly good soundtrack, that number is 0. Soundtracks tend to be kind of forgettable, but you really, those themes stick with you, and they evoke a sense of wonder and a sense of dread and a sense of bar on Tatooine. Great soundtrack.
Cool. Well, I don't have anything quite as lofty to suggest, but I nominate Belfast because Van Morrison. That was the one I liked listening to the best.
Oh, there you go.
So, I'm already admitting defeat. After that sales pitch. But I would just like to say, Van Morrison's pretty good. So,
Yep.
There is that.
I don't remember any of the songs from it, and I didn't really know who Van Morrison was before we watched it.
Well, I mean, that's your feeling, though, isn't it? I mean, that the soundtrack shouldn't suffer because you're a Philistine who's picking some of the best music ever written as the best soundtrack instead of Van Morrison, who's really awesome.
This is very much in the vein of... Highlander, it's Queen.
It's exactly that.
In fact, are there any films that we watched that wouldn't have been improved, in your opinion, by randomly slipping some Van Morrison tracks into the middle of them?
It's a good question.
No. They wouldn't have been appropriate, though, because Van Morrison's from Northern Ireland, so it makes sense for Belfast.
Oh, that's quite good.
And one of the songs is named after a place in Northern Ireland. So, that too.
Cool. Did you say you'd admitted defeat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm willing to admit victory if it comes to it. Just want to check whether Fernando and Laura are both going to pick Belfast and screw things up.
Come on, Fernando.
You guys like Star Wars?
I'm just surprised that none of us picked Barry Lyndon.
I was so close to picking Barry Lyndon, but I can only remember 5 seconds of the music.
That's all I could remember.
Bum, 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 bum. Fantastic stuff. Cool, I think I'm ready. It's a shame because I used to really like Van Morrison when I was 12. Listen to him all the time.
Yeah.
But I think he's a bad guy.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah, or something. Let me look it up.
Are you getting confused with Morrissey?
Oh, I mean, who knows? Let me just Google Van Morrison controversy. That'll bring it up, won't it? What happened to Van Morrison? The fall from eccentric genius to conspiracy theorist.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's a big anti-vaxxer.
Oh. Bloody hell.
Oh, well. do you want to vote? Fernando?
Ready.
And I am voting for... let me see.
Check your notes.
I think I'm going to go for Star Wars.
Yeah. Laura?
Also Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I thought that might happen.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm continuing to vote for Van Morrison What was
Excellent.
the film? I forget what it was called.
And your vote doesn't even count.
COVID-19 was a hoax. All right, head to head.
Yeah.
Head to head. So it's Mulan or Star Wars.
Oh, tough choice. My only problem with Star Wars is I don't really remember obviously I remember the beginning one and the Cantina Band. I suppose John Williams is very reliable though, isn't he? It will be good.
You remember Darth Vader's music, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
That
was good. It was good. But was it as good as A Girl Worth Fighting For?
A Girl Worth Fighting For.
Yes, it's the word you're looking for.
Yeah, so I
the only girl who'd love him is his mother.
Can you imagine? Oh, so I have to say, I'm not saying that Wilf would definitely agree with me, but when we watched Mulan, I told him oh yeah, this film's sort of all right. It's not that great, but it's got this one really great song in it that sort of blows everyone away, and everyone talks about how great the one song is. And then we watched it, and we'd finished watching I'll Make a Man Out of You, and he sort of mockingly said, so, well, I take it that wasn't the song then. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, that was the song, and we're less than halfway through the film. We have to just sit through the rest of this now. And Reflections had its moment, but...
Since when does Wilf have a place in this church?
Has this film club forgotten the rules? Away with this bauble! Best actor next category. Watch out.
Yep. Oh, I think we should introduce a worst actor. Oh, this is tough. I feel a certain loyalty to Mulan. You know, I grew up with it.
Yeah, I grew up with acne.
Tricky. Which one would I rather be stuck on a desert island with, listening to over and over and over again? Do you know, I think I could go mad with the Mulan soundtrack. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so it's...
I'm voting for Mulan.
Laura?
I wasn't ready. Star Wars. I feel like I've betrayed myself.
I'm going Star Wars as well. Claire, what would it have been?
It would have been Star Wars.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the winner of the Secret Oscar 2023 for Best Soundtrack goes to Star Wars.
Yay!
Woo!
I'm glad that I haven't sent my Christmas cards just yet.
Absolutely.
You're right. I don't deserve it.
Brutal.
How can I betray myself in this way? Can we do some honourable mentions?
Oh,
Yeah.
we shouldn't we?
Fair back to my list. Barry Lyndon, obviously.
Yeah.
For some reason, I've got written down, so I must have listened to it at some point, but clearly I've forgotten. Ben-Hur's not as good as Mutiny on the Bounty, 1962. So I'm guessing the Mutiny on the Bounty has quite a good orchestral score. Don't know, though. A Knight's Tale, great application of modern music.
It had Queen in it as well, didn't
It did also have Queen in it.
I thought that was a particularly terrible application of modern music.
Not really best soundtrack, but Another Round has some of my favourite use of music in a film with the end when they're dancing and drinking, and loved it. And finally, sorry, I'm taking up a lot of this, Princess Mononoke, and that was my head choice. That was the best. To be honest, that was the best soundtrack.
Enchanting and fits so well with the film.
Beautiful.
I wanted to pick it.
I suppose it's good that we have some categories that aren't won by Princess Mononoke.
Yes. It's doing quite well so far.
I seem to remember Jason and the Argonauts had some catchy music at some point.
Oh, right. We're forgetting, of course, who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks. Hour and a half of porn music. Brilliant.
Anyone else have any honourable mentions?
I thought about nominating Whiplash as well. All the jazz was good.
Oh yeah.
And all that jazz.
A lot of drums.
Yeah, it was too drummy, I thought. Oh, Yellow Submarine as well. But
oh yeah, I can't believe we didn't mention that.
Yeah. Best band of all time.
Well, indeed.
The next category is my category. I think the last two are going to be mine. And this one is Best Actor. So I'm delighted to be introducing this. This is the best actor of any gender or no gender in any film that we've watched. So it would be Claire and Fernando to go first. Claire's, who have you got?
Right. I am going to nominate Alexander Sokurov. That is the narrator in Russian Ark. Right. Because I think that was a phenomenal piece of acting. Not that it was like blow away great acting, but just holding it together for that whole time. I thought it was very impressive and deserves credit.
Yeah, if anything, I was more impressed with the European, the companion who held it together for the whole thing while on camera for a lot of it.
Oh, maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, yes, you said the narrator, did you?
Yeah, I mean the one that was on the screen. I mean the European then.
Oh, in that case, that's a bit more tricky for me because I did like that performance.
He was good.
The highlight of the film for me.
That's so we're talking about Sergei Draden, who played the stranger.
Yes.
Brackets the Marquis de Custine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the reasons still hold, but
about a different guy.
Yeah, so he did a remarkable live performance in one take, where he did a great job, and he was quite compelling and very mysterious and strange, and he did several different emotions.
Yes, wasn't he? He was haughty, he was drunk, he was mysterious, dreamy. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. He was enthralled and he was disgusted. Yeah.
All the human emotion.
Yeah.
Куда? Вперед. 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 Что там? Что там? Знаю. Останусь. Прощай, Европа. Уйдите. Вот и все.
Nice. Fernando?
I'm going to nominate Ryan O'Neal, who plays Redmond Barry Lyndon in Barry Lyndon, because I think he is great. And I really like that film.
Ist ihm nicht wohl?
Sir, I have a confession to make to you. I'm an Irishman, and my name is Redmond Barry. I was abducted into the Prussian army 2 years ago, and now have been put into your service by my Captain Pottsdorf and his uncle, the Minister of Police, to serve as a watch upon your actions and to give information to the same quarter.
The Chevalier was as much affected as Barry at thus finding one of his countrymen, for he too was an exile from home.
How many emotions did he do?
He did at least 2.
He did angry a lot.
Understated angry, though, I think.
Yeah. My mind immediately jumps back to just the scene where he beats the shit out of his stepson, just in front of like hundreds of people all trying to intervene.
That seems...
It was so brilliant.
Also, you've pipped my nomination, Fernando. I was going to nominate Ryan O'Neill, so I'm glad you've done it. Because I also thought it was a phenomenal performance. But you go on. Sorry, I'm talking.
What else can I say? He also did Clueless at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was clueless. Did you think he was a particularly engaging actor then? He did a lot for the film?
I think so. I still think of that film, even though I can't really remember what it was about, but I still think that it was a great film, and maybe that's why I'm nominating him.
Yeah, I think it was, and I think he did a hard work as well, because that was a long, very slow film, and it needed a really charismatic main character to pull you along. Even though he didn't speak, he didn't even have much dialogue. He was largely silent. It was all through glance and subtle gestures.
Yeah, he did a lot with very little, didn't he?
Yes. I remember Ryan O'Neill gave an interview, and he said because working with Kubrick, he would make him do like 46 takes, and everyone was just so tired because they would make him do it over and over and over again and not give any direction, just say again, again, again. And he said at the end of one take, he came up and shook his hand, and it was the best moment of his life or something. I might have said that during the podcast. I can't remember.
I don't remember you saying it. There's Stockholm Syndrome for you. I'm really feeling like Ryan O'Neill should get this because he had real authority and presence on screen, whereas The Stranger in Russian Ark was quite... it was a great film, but he was quite capricious, quite weird, sort of all over the place. It could be that he got a lot of it quite wrong, and I'm just watching it being like, wow, this is a weird film, and he's doing brilliantly. Like he didn't have that coherence that Barry Lyndon had.
Yeah.
So I like Ryan O'Neill.
I can see that.
Should we have a vote?
I'm going Ryan O'Neill.
Great.
As much as I did like The Stranger in Russian Ark, without liking Russian Ark in any way. So
I'm going to stick with Sergei Drayden.
Nice.
Even though I didn't know who it was 10 minutes ago.
Fernando, casting vote.
Well, I just don't know. You all seem to think that the person in Russian Ark was an excellent actor.
No, I changed my mind. I thought he was terrible. Yeah, no, dreadful performance.
Yeah, a load of crap.
What do you think, Fernando? That's the important.
Given that I gave 1 star, I guess I'm compelled to vote for Ryan O'Neill then.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. So we have Ryan O'Neill from Barry Lyndon.
Yeah.
Laura, now that you've not got Ryan O'Neill to pick, who's your nominee? I've
honestly been going back and forth about it.
This was a tough one. At
least 15 minutes before the podcast came on. Again, it's a head and heart thing. I've got my heart choice. I've got my head choice.
Wow.
I'll go with Richard E. Grant from With Nil now.
Okay.
You're drunk. Just bring out the cake. Cake and fine wine.
If you don't leave, we'll call the police.
Balls. We want the finest wines available to humanity. We want them here, and we want them now.
Miss Blenner has it. Telephone the police.
That's all right. Miss Blenner has it. I'm warning you, if you do, you're fired. We are multi-millionaires. We shall buy this place and fire you immediately. Yes, we'll buy this place. And we'll install a fucking jukebox in here. Liven all you stiffs up a bit.
That's your head choice, isn't it?
Richard Harris from Cromwell.
I put him in my shortlist and he ended up at the bottom of the shortlist when I started taking it seriously.
I'd rather talk about Richard Harris because I think in many ways it was the more engaging performance.
I'm going to go with Ingrid Bergman from Gaslight.
Okay.
Have you gone mad, my husband? Or is it I who am mad? Yes, of course, that's it. I am mad. I'm always losing things and hiding things, and I can never find them. I don't know where I put them. That was a knife, wasn't it? And I have lost it. I must look for it, mustn't I? If I don't find it, you'll put me in the madhouse. Where could it be now? Perhaps it's behind this picture. Yes, it must be here. No. No, where shall I look now? Perhaps I put it over here. Yes, I must have done that. My brooch. The brooch I lost at the tower. I found it at last, you see, but it doesn't help you, does it? And I'm trying to help you, aren't I? Trying to help you to escape. How can a mad woman help her husband to escape?
But you're not mad.
Yes, I am mad, as my mother was mad.
No, Paula. That wasn't true. Help me.
If I were not mad, I could have helped you. Whatever you had done, I could have pitied and protected you. But because I am mad, I hate you. Because I am mad, I have betrayed you, and because I am mad, I'm rejoicing in my heart without a shred of pity, without a shred of regret, watching you go with glory in my heart. Mr. Cameron, come! Come, Mr. Cameron, take this man away! Take this man away!
I thought she did loads of different emotions again. Like, she went through a lot. She showed quite a bit of range. She was quite happy-go-lucky and quite sort of kind and cheerful early on, and she fell in love, and she showed these emotions quite well. But then, her sort of descent into insanity and just confusion, and seeing how this terrible man was having this effect on her, you really felt sorry for her and really felt that she was falling apart. And then when she comes back at the end, realizing that she was not to blame all along, and she delivers that amazing speech in the final scene, where she really lets him have it and acts like she's going to kill him, and has this sort of mocking, defiant speech. It's just brilliant, and to see her go through all of that, I think took quite an actor.
It's a good pitch.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I thought Richard E. Grant played a really good drunk. He had to be drunk for the whole film. That takes some chops.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think, if I'm being honest, I think Edward Berman, fantastic, but a little overacted for me. A little overacted.
Okay.
Classic of the period.
Yeah, it was a different era of filmmaking, wasn't it, where overacting was the order of the day.
Yes.
Although, no, I'm not sure. It wasn't like in Ben-Hur or something, was it? She wasn't sort of using the whole stage and sort of flinging herself across the room and collapsing onto the floor. There was a bit more sort of camera right focused in on her face. But yeah, she did these soliloquies that were written for her, but I thought delivered them in quite a believable way.
Yeah, no, she's very good. She's very good. I just thought Richard E. Grant was like the best thing about that film. God, I could talk all day about Richard Harris. But for the wrong Richard. No, he delivered some beautiful soliloquies, and at the end, my heart was broken for him being left behind, which shows that he did seriously move me, despite it being a bit of a farcical drag of a film. Okay. I got really invested in his character, and I just thought he had fantastic line deliveries, and he really threw himself into the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Fernando and Claire, what do you think?
I'm very torn. So, the thing with Richard E. Grant is he typecast, because we saw him in the thing Gosford Park as well, and he had that sort of withering. Withering is the word I always come back to when I'm describing his characters. Was there a bit too much of that still in it?
Was he a bit of a cartoon character?
Do you think?
Sorry.
Well, I never.
I didn't believe him.
He does play I think he plays a good withering character. I think he played more of a demented person with Neil and I.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has a good, like, he's close to the edge and can snap at any moment. is driven by his obsession for not being sober. But underlying all of that is a severe loyalty to his friend who betrays him in the end. I found it very moving.
He does not betray him.
He betrays him. He
He
betrays
gets on with his life.
that they've built together.
They have not built a life.
He doesn't build anything.
Just ruins I's life.
Yeah.
I ruined his own life. They were in it together. They were surviving together. They can only survive together.
We're barely surviving together.
Anyway, we don't need to solve that argument again. We need to pick who was the best actor.
We do. I definitely disliked Withnail. I think that's because of the good acting. Yeah, okay, I've made a decision.
You ready, Fernando?
Again, I just don't know. Why is this category so difficult?
I think Claire might be voting for him because he's such a good actor that she hated him, and Laura might be voting for him because he was such a good actor that she loved him.
Yeah.
And I think you need a good actor can sort of direct their, they can act in such a way that people have the same opinion.
That's a mad opinion.
Anyway, I think I'm losing this one. Go on, Claire.
Richard E. Grant.
Yeah. Fernando?
Can I vote for Ryan O'Neill?
In the next round.
In the next round, maybe.
Oh, well, I'm going for Withnail.
Yeah, Richard E. Grant. Laura?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Richard E. Grant.
Wow.
Cool, on to the next round.
Yeah, the final. It's Ryan O'Neill from Barry Lyndon or Richard E. Grant from Withnail and I.
I'm ready. Who was first again? Claire.
Claire.
Oh, I'm sticking with Richard E. Grant.
Oh, interesting.
Fernando?
I'm going with Ryan O'Neill.
Yeah. Oh, Laura, deciding vote.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, I mean, I'm thrilled the nomination made it this far.
I'd like to thank all the little people.
Would like to thank all the little people. Nah, I'll go with Ryan O'Neill.
Excellent. So I'm delighted to award the secret Oscar for Best Actor to Ryan O'Neill from Barry Lyndon.
Excellent.
I'll cut that music.
Yeah, great, good stuff.
Great. Who were our backups and second choices?
I had a very long list for this one. So I had Ingrid Bergman, followed by Trevor Howard from Mutiny on the Bounty 1962, Shere Khan. Then I had Penelope Cruz from Official Competition as my third one.
I didn't remember her. Yeah.
I also had Fatia Yusuf from Cuties.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little girl from that. She was
very good.
This one. Yeah.
On the same note, I had Jude Hill from Belfast, the buddy in Belfast.
I felt certain someone would nominate him, but
he was good.
Yeah. Not good enough, though, little boy.
Buddy. Massive credit to lead actors in So Long, My Son, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were probably the two best actors.
Almost as good as Hercules from Jason and the Argonauts.
Show me a woman with a firm leg, a warm bosom, and a warm heart. Let no man try and stop me.
Can I just say a little bit behind my Richard Harris thought?
Yeah.
Out of all the performances, his has stuck with me the most. I replay what he says at least once a day in my mind. I can't even really remember the words. I just remember it being like, oh.
At least once a day.
Something like that. I think about him all the time.
You just see you screaming at your sister or something. Do you see before you the guise of a king? This empty shell.
Can God so easily be bought with trinket? Love it.
He was quite something.
What is acting? It's about making an impression.
Yeah.
Fernando, any other honourable mentions?
Well, you've mentioned the King and Cromwell, right?
Actually, we didn't talk about Alec Guinness. I thought he was good as well.
Oh yeah, Alec Guinness.
Audrey Hepburn's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Charade.
Oh yeah, Charade.
The mums in Bad Moms.
Yep.
Okay. Meeting over.
I had Robin Williams on my list as well.
Awakenings.
Oh yeah.
I was actually thinking of the other guy in Awakenings, Robert De Niro in Awakenings. I thought he did well.
And I also had Whiplash on my list. What's his name? J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
Because he made me really dislike him.
Yeah, he was good.
Impressively odious.
Not quite my tempo. The next category is Worst Picture, which we did last time. And I believe it was Southland Tales last time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Travesty.
It was a pretty bad film.
Still the worst film I've ever seen.
I've got some candidates this time. I've got to say we've had a couple of bad ones. So Claire, what's your nominee?
Disappointingly for you, Laura, Babes in Toyland.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was terrible.
I was certain you were going to say Highlander.
I know. I thought about it. But Babes in Toyland was so bad. So bad.
The stove and rugs and furniture will soon be repossessed. This makes me feel quite insecure and mentally depressed. Would we be better off somehow by living in a tent? How can I pay the mortgage now and save the 6%? Picture us inside a tent, beastly poor, insecure. We must save the 6%. 6 times X, how complex. Numbers always stick our brains. Why are we so dumb? This is much too hard for us. We can't do the sum. I'm not a great financial whiz, of that there is no doubt. The outcome of our income is our income's all gone out. We walk on our hands with care instead of on our feet. Would what we save on shoe repair suffice to make ends meet?
Okay.
That's all I've got to say.
Fernando?
Well, I do have a strong opinion about this one, and I hope... something tells me that you will not agree with my choice, but because I truly believe in my choice... I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but I'm choosing Jason and the Argonauts because it's the absolutely worst picture I have ever seen in my life.
But Colchis, that's the end of the world. No Greek has ever sailed there.
Now that you've heard that, are you so sure that you will not need my help? Think carefully. I offered him a ship and a crew, and he refused me.
You for the help of the gods?
What ship is strong enough to reach to the edge of the world? What crew brave enough to sail in her?
I shall tell the shipbuilders of Greece that the richest cargo in the world waits in Colchis. The golden fleece is worth a kingdom, and I shall say that only the strongest ship ever built will survive the voyage. The athletes of Greece are proud. I'll tell them that only the best can expect a place in the most perilous voyage in history. I shall announce the games, invite the strongest and bravest of the Greeks. No greater game shall ever be held, unless the gods decree otherwise.
I did well to choose you, Jason. The gods are best served by those who want their help least.
I must confess that out of all the films that we've watched, I believe it is not the one that I've not watched in its entirety, because I think I fell asleep and then I woke up and then I knew that I had to go back but I was hitting it so much that I decided not to go back.
Oh my God. What a revelation.
Yes, it was just horrible to me. As in, it was extremely boring. Hence, I am nominating that one.
I've made us watch a few of those kinds of films.
Yes, you have.
This wasn't the first time it had happened. Well, I've got to say, I loved Jason and the Argonauts in a sort of, what the hell is this type way.
It's going to be a hard sell for me, I'll be honest.
I thought it was a great follow-up to Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
Should we start with Claire?
Yes. So, Babes in Toyland.
It was actually your pick, wasn't it,
was
Claire?
my pick. I'm not proud. There was no coherent story. There was it was kind of pantomime-y. It had the terrible song about the woman who couldn't do the sums or couldn't add up or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Its one redeeming feature was that one scene, or that, 3 or 4 seconds where they pussyfoot. That was, I think, the only moment that might have saved it. But, yeah, like, start to finish.
What about the goose at the start?
Yeah, terrible.
Gabby
Absolutely.
the goose or whatever.
Love that goose. Sylvester.
Mother goose.
Sylvester.
Just utter trash.
Yeah, that was a crap film.
Oh, it's garbage. Yeah, it was great.
What?
Jason and the Argonauts felt like it had some ambition. It had an epic scope, and it had loads of crazy stuff happening, and it had a big budget, and they used loads of artistic talent to create it. And the fact that it was a bit muddled and a bit kind of cheesy and
pantomimetic, I would say.
Pantomimetic. Yeah, they were both sort of pantomimes, weren't they? But I don't know, Jason and the Argonauts felt like it was really trying to do something.
And it had Hercules.
I agree in that Jason and the Argonauts was trying to do something, and I agree in the ambition, but I disagree in everything else that you said. As in, I believe that the ambition was to be the worst picture ever, and they managed it.
Wow.
They wanted to do something, and that thing they wanted to do is to create the most horrible picture in the world, and they managed it. And in defense of Babes in Toyland, to be fair, mathematics is hard. That's the reason why we have. That's the reason why we have calculators. As in, I sympathize with the girl who can't add 2 numbers, because sometimes I have trouble adding 2 numbers myself.
So, Laura, on the basis that you might be the deciding vote, you say it's going to be a difficult sell voting for Jason and the Argonauts here.
Oh, I mean, it's not a good film. Sure, I'll admit that. It's got really stagey acting. They don't have any sense of how ridiculous it is. But I've got a soft spot for it. Whereas I agree with Claire, Babes in Toyland didn't even have a coherent story. They forgot several narrative threads that they'd set up, like the sheep and the forest, and then it was Christmas, and we don't see if any of the boys get made on time, it's just all this stuff that they're like, oh, this is part of the plot, but then they just forgot about it all. It was just an insane fumble. They fumbled it in a very amusing way, but extremely dislikable characters.
It was just rubbish.
Apart from Barnaby, obviously. I mean, there's Barnaby and then there's Hercules. I mean, they're good ones. They're good boys.
Could be tough.
Nice boys. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Does anyone need longer to make their mind up?
No.
Nope.
Right, Laura?
I'm voting for the worst film. Yes, obviously. Babes in Toyland, I think it was worse.
Yeah. Claire?
I'm sorry, Fernando.
Yeah, and Fernando, have you been talked around?
No, I vote Jason and the Argonauts, and I'm going to quit this conversation as I'm leaving now, because
I'm going to keep trying with these films. You'll grow to like them. You just have to get into them.
Oh, no. Oh, this is going to be the end of the film club.
The next one's got giant crabs.
Can't wait. Well, that's 2-1 then. And yeah, I'd have voted for Babes in Toyland. That was proper trash. Jason and the Argonauts had something going for it.
Lovely stuff.
So then, Laura, what's your nominee?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to surprise people here. I'm going to pick Highlander.
Yeah.
Greetings. I am Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, Chief Metallurgist to King Charles V of Spain, and I'm at your service.
Who?
What do you want?
You. You're Connor MacLeod.
Maybe I am.
You're Connor MacLeod, wounded in battle and driven from your village of Glenfinnan 5 years ago.
Connor!
Heather, go in the house.
I'll stay right here.
Do as I say, woman.
The sensation you're feeling is the quickening.
Who are you?
We are the same, MacLeod. We are brothers.
It's a bad film.
It's a really bad film.
What?
The thing is, I like bad films. I like it when people fail and almost succeed. And I think Highlander really did almost succeed, but they churned out something terrible.
Yeah.
Sean Connery's it doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes any sense. It's fantastic.
Well, my pick was A Bad Mom's Christmas.
I wondered if that would get it.
What?
Well, then let's do it.
What?
Guys, what is wrong with us? Have we learned nothing? This is bullshit. I'm disappointed in this threesome. We are mothers. And if things are not going our way, then what do?
We hide in the bathroom.
No, we don't do that. We stand up and we fight back.
Yes.
So if we want to do Christmas our way this year, then we're going to do Christmas our way.
No more perfect gifts, no more perfect decorations, no more perfect anything. Fuck it. Let's take Christmas back.
Let's put the ass back in Christmas.
Which I just thought was basically meritless. That was unlike all of these films that we've talked about so far. It wasn't a desperate attempt to sort of do something that went horribly wrong because they screwed up. It was just a badly conceived idea from the start, just a weak sort of pathetic cash in to try and scrape a bit of money off a few innocent cinema goers. It was crass to the extreme. It didn't really make sense. The tone was all off, and it promoted some really genuinely obnoxious and reprehensible behaviour. It sort of promoted that as having a good time, where actually it was sexually assaulting people and mugging people, and it was just awful. And so several of the characters were miserable cardboard cutouts that didn't really do anything. It didn't deserve to be made. I guess I'm thinking about if you found someone who really loved Babes in Toyland and someone who really loved Jason and the Argonauts and someone who really loved Highlander, all of those people would be quite interesting to talk to at a party. If you found someone who really loves A Bad Mom's Christmas, they're just basically worthless to society. And you just don't really want to go near them because they're probably going to spit in your face, or
if they earnestly like it,
their top off, or
can
something.
they ironically like it?
This is if they earnestly like it.
I sort of see what you mean.
MP that keeps going on about chai lattes probably likes it.
Yeah. The Chai Latte Avocado Toast Brigade.
It would be one of those films that Rishi Sunak says he loves because he's trying to connect with the ordinary people. But he's
the
never.
bad mom's Christmas.
Yeah. Bad mothers doing stuff wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because I genuinely do agree with you that Bad Moms was a bad old film. I still had a good time watching it though. But I had a brilliant time watching Highlander. So,
yeah.
Tricky. Plus, Bad Moms had Christine Baranski, who was genuinely good in it, I think. Remember when she shouted that the ice was from the moon? That was a good moment.
Yeah, I had a couple of good lines.
But yeah, largely just crass crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actively bad where Highlander was just bad.
Like, I wish it didn't exist, which is not true of Highlander. I kind of love that Highlander exists. It's like quite a good testament to failure.
Yeah, you do make a good point, Michael.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah, me too.
Fernando, you ready? Great.
I'm also ready.
So Claire, what's your pick?
Bad Mom's Christmas.
Yep. Fernando?
Well, even though I don't want to vote for any of them because I enjoyed both films, I think I'm going to have to make the hard decision of voting for A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Yeah, I'm voting Bad Moms.
Right. Wow. 3 out of 3.
But I really did enjoy watching both of those. I'd like to emphasise that. And all the bad films we watched this year. Except Masculine and Feminine. I really should have voted for that one, but I knew it wasn't going to get through. So
Actually didn't like it. Yeah, that was great.
So, head to head.
Head to head, Babes in Toyland or A Bad Mom's Christmas?
Oh, they are shockingly bad. Both really bad films.
At least Bad Mom's Christmas was entertaining.
See, I feel the opposite, I think. I feel like Babes in Toyland, I got more mirth out of how bad it was.
No. I don't think that's allowed to count towards your opinion forming process.
Well, that's a rule you've made up.
I've decided that that's not allowed because I'll lose if that's allowed. And Babes in Toyland was pretty boring. At least there was some pacing to Bad Mom's Christmas that meant that the story was paced properly and you could follow the story. Where Babes in Toyland would just stop for a song that made no sense.
Yeah.
In between stories that didn't connect.
Do you remember when they're having the big fight scene at the end? And Tom and Barnaby are both tiny, and Mary's giant, but she doesn't help.
She just screams, yeah.
Oh, it was so sexist. It's sexist, this film, as well. So you can't win on sexism.
Well, I think they might both be a bit sexist.
I think we both get the sexism.
I'm not sure. Bad Moms is a triumph of feminism. Although I think it thought it was.
Yes. Yeah, that's why it's dangerous.
Feminism is going up to a Santa in the mall and grinding on him without any sort of permission or discussion.
Yeah, there was less grinding, wasn't there, in Babes in Toyland?
Much less grinding, Babes in Toyland.
There was a lot more flouncing, though.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't pussyfoot once in Bad Mom's Christmas.
Tricky.
I was probably more bored in Babes in Toyland.
Yeah.
Boring is really bad. But also, I think A Bad Mom's Christmas, I might have been less bored because it was pitched so low. It just treated the entire audience like complete fucking idiots and just threw like the lowest common denominator stuff at you just to keep you from walking out of the cinema.
Which one would you rather watch again right now?
Oh my god, I'm so glad I don't have to decide.
Can I stare at a blank screen for an hour and 30 minutes?
Probably rather watch Bad Moms.
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch Bad Moms, which I think might mean that it's not as bad as Babes in Toyland.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
I don't think I could bring myself to watch Babes in Toyland again.
No, I don't think I could. It was quite long as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, was that the one where we were like, wow, this is really going on? We looked, it had been like half an hour. Oh.
And we know that even though we might hate it, we know that this 25th of December in the morning we'll all be waking up and we'll be watching A Bad Mom's Christmas once again. Because it is tradition.
That's true.
Oh dear.
I'm ready. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready as well.
Claire?
I vote for Babes in Toyland.
Yep. Fernando?
I also vote for Babes in Toyland.
Great.
Toyland.
Laura?
Babes in Toyland.
Yep. And I think I would have voted for that as well, because, yeah, I was going to say Bad Mom's Christmas, but it was when you said, which one do you want to watch now? And just the idea of watching Babes in Toyland again really made me... Oh, yeah, awful. Well, I'm delighted to announce the award for Worst Picture goes to Babes in Toyland. Boo!
Oh dear. Any honourable mentions?
Pink Narcissus.
Yep. Thought that was...
Why did we not nominate Pink Narcissus, and why did we think that maybe Bad Moms was better than Pink Narcissus?
Yeah, I thought so. I said Bad Mom's Christmas. Pink Narcissus was second for me, but it was trying to do something interesting. It had an original idea and it was communicating something.
I also had In the Wake of the Bounty.
That's pretty bad.
Well, I mentioned Masculine Femina,
yes.
which I hated as artsy, pretentious nonsense.
You just didn't think you'd get it past all the artsy, pretentious people you're in a club with. I had The Green Knight as well.
The Green Knight? Oh, yeah, okay.
The Green Knight's on my list.
Oh, no, I really liked The Green Knight.
Me too, I thought it was great.
Wow, I think we all agreed in the end, didn't we?
I'm really excited to see what bad films we'll have on the list next time.
Oh, who can imagine? Maybe we'll go another 50 films without picking any bad ones.
I very much intend not to achieve that. Although I'd like it noted, I wasn't responsible for most of the bad films that were nominated there.
So who nominated Bad Mom's Christmas?
Well, we voted on it, but it was Fernando.
That was Fernando. Because you did quite well last year in bad films, didn't you, Fernando?
I think all nominations were my films, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How do you feel having got fewer nominations this year?
Maybe you're not appreciating my films anymore. What am I making wrongs, and can I do something better to improve?
I think you should try
feedback?
harder.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, next up we've got the 4 bonus categories. Laura, this was your idea, right?
Yes. I just wanted to get more categories in, and I knew the only way I could sell it was if there was no discussion.
Yep. That's excellent. And I do think it's good that we have something to sort of represent, because the lame Oscars, the ones in Hollywood, have the sort of bullshit extra categories like best sound mixing and best guy who got coffee for a producer and stuff. And so I'm glad we got some of that. So for Fernando, your category was first. What was it?
Okay. So the category is best lovesick drama. I'm nominating My Own Private Idaho as best lovesick drama.
Laura, what is it?
The Bounty, 1984.
Excellent. So it's either My Own Private Idaho or The Bounty, and I'm voting first, and I'm voting for My Own Private Idaho. Claire?
The Bounty.
Fernando?
My Own Private Idaho.
And Laura?
The Bounty.
Excellent. Oh, well, Fernando doesn't get a vote because it's his category, so it's The Bounty.
Okay, next.
Drama. Next is my nominee, and that is Heartbeats.
I nominate With Neil and I.
Excellent. Fernando, which one of those?
Well, Whitney on I is a lovesick drama because
there's no discussion, Fernando.
No discussion.
Okay, well then, Heartbeats.
Heartbeats. Laura?
Heartbeats.
Yep. I also think Heartbeats.
Well, I vote with Neil and I.
Great.
You're
well,
allowed.
I guess it's Heartbeats then. So best lovesick drama. Do you know, I spent quite a while thinking about what that even means. The Bounty or Heartbeats? What was the better lovesick drama?
Heartbeats.
The Bounty.
Heartbeats.
Heartbeats as well.
Excellent. That's it.
Heartbeat.
Yes, so the prize for Best Lovesick Drama 2023 of the Secret Oscars goes to Heartbeats.
Non, il se fait des idées, là, sur n'importe qui, n'importe quoi. Et qu'on lui donne trop d'affection, qu'on le touche trop.
Woo! Sacre bleu. Right, no more discussion. Straight on. Laura, what's your category?
My category is film that would be most improved if all but one of the cast were Muppets.
Absolutely legendary. Okay, and I'm first. So it's Cromwell. The Muppets Cromwell.
Nice, yes.
Do we have to say who the one character who's not a Muppet is?
Nope.
Nope. Shaft.
Shaft. Fernando, do you want the Muppets Cromwell or the Muppets Shaft?
Wow. The Muppets Cromwell.
Excellent. Laura, though you don't get to vote.
Oh, Cromwell.
Yeah, I think the Muppets Cromwell. Claire, out of interest?
I think Cromwell's an excellent shout. I'm going Cromwell.
Excellent. Fernando and Laura, what have you got?
Well, I'm nominated. Given that I think it's the worst picture and it can be improved by anything, I'm going to nominate Jason and the Argonauts as
I
the
think
one
that would work really well.
would be most improved if all the characters were Muppets.
Yeah, nice. I'm going to nominate Macario.
Ooh.
I love it. I vote for the Muppets Jason and the Argonauts.
I vote for the Muppets Macario.
Fernando?
Well, I vote for the Muppets Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd stick with Macario, but my vote doesn't count.
Well, there we are. So it's, do you want to go and see the Muppets Cromwell or the Muppets Jason and the Argonauts?
Oh, I don't know.
Or, I mean, which one would be most improved?
This is where some discussion would really help.
Yeah. Alas.
Discuss who the Muppets were going to be, but never mind.
We get like a few moments afterwards.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
In fact, you and I can just talk about this all afternoon tomorrow.
Yes.
The Muppets Cromwell or the Muppets Jason and the Argonauts. I guess I'm choosing first. I think it's the Muppets Cromwell for me.
That's tough.
No, I've said it.
Definitely the Muppets Cromwell.
Yeah. Fernando?
The Muppets Jason and the Argonauts.
It would be great. What was your feeling, Laura?
I think I'd go Cromwell, but it's on the knife's edge.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. You don't have to choose.
Yep. So, yes, the winner of the film that would be most improved if all but one of the cast of Muppets is Cromwell.
Art thou mad? Have we come thus far that you would betray us now?
There is nothing in the constitution of this land that entitles us to bring a king to trial.
Is not the king answerable to his subjects?
The trial is clearly illegal, and I will have no...
Is not the king answerable to his subjects?
The king, sir, is answerable only to God.
And by God, when he dies, he shall have much to answer for.
We have gone too far in this matter.
This commission has no lawful authority to bring a king of England.
Our authority lies with the Parliament, sir. Parliament is the law in this land. Is the charges against this king be not proven? What terrible retribution may he not bring down upon our heads?
Yes, in the name of God! What are we all? Men?
Cowering and quivering like downtrodden serfs.
The king is not England, and England is not the king. It is not the survival of the king that is at issue here. It is the survival of England.
And this king, by his dishonesties, by his treasons, and by his secret treaties with foreign powers,
has shown himself to be ill-fitted to govern this great nation.
Woo!
Yeah! Woo! I have a lot of thoughts on that one.
Me too.
I'd love to know what the Parliament looks like.
Next category is Michael's.
Yes, this is hottest actor. As with our other categories, actor can include any gender.
Yep.
So, Claire, who's the hottest actor in the films we've seen?
Jamie Dornan. Off of Belfast.
Yep.
Okay, I have to go back to my letterbox because I can't remember his name.
What was he in? I could maybe tell you.
Pink Narcissus.
Bobby Kendall.
Bobby Kendall.
Cool. So is it Bobby Kendall versus Jamie Dornan? I'm going to go Jamie Dornan. I mean, Bobby Kendall's a beautiful man, but not quite my taste.
Who do you reckon, Claire?
Jamie Dornan.
Yeah. Fernando, are you swayed?
No, I'm voting for Bobby Kendall.
Yeah. I think looking at that, I'd have to say Jamie Dornan as well. So he's through. Last two then, Laura.
I am voting for Suzanne Pleshett from The Ugly Dachshund.
Okay. And I'm going to say... sorry, I need names. Amy Adams, Giselle from Enchanted.
Oh. Interesting. Grab a quick photo of her. You know, I stocked up a bunch of photos of the hot actors that we might pick, and only mine was on there. Didn't anticipate any of the other one.
Excellent.
Susan Pleshette.
Susan as well.
Laura?
I'm also going to go Suzanne.
Well, I don't get a vote anyway, so I guess it's unanimous. But I have to say, I'm not sure which picture you guys are looking at.
I think she's hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, who's hotter
no discussion.
is the question.
No discussion.
Yeah, no discussion.
Sorry, no discussion.
Job done. That's Suzanne Pleshette. So it's Jamie Dornan or Suzanne Pleshette. Starting to realise this. Anyway, straight in, Claire.
Jamie Dornan.
Fernando.
Suzanne.
Oh, Laura.
Suzanne.
Way! And I'm biased, obviously, but Suzanne Pleshette.
Biased?
I'm straight, man. The award for hottest actor goes to Suzanne Pleshette, Fran from The Ugly Dachshund.
Woo!
Oh, Brutus, Mark, look what he's done.
Well, now, wait a minute. How do you know he did it?
Well, you're not going to blame it on those little angels, Mark. Just look at them. You can tell they had nothing to do with it.
Fran, one dog couldn't possibly have done all of
No,
this.
not normally. One
Well,
dog...
besides, there's no real harm done, honey. It's just a little yarn, that's all. Just relax now. I can pick it all up if I can find where it begins.
Mark! Look out! Mark, don't move!
Ah!
Mark! Just a little yarn.
Great choice.
Sorry to everyone we objectified. My bad. Yes. What? Who have you got, Laura?
Well, you'll see I've sent 7 pictures to the chat.
Oh, here we go. Someone came prepared.
So Matt Dillon from Drugstore Cowboy
Mhm.
probably actually should have been. I mean, that man. Look at that man. Good lord. No, objectively.
Oof, like a bad boy.
Look at him smoking. And then Anna Karina also smoking.
But she's French, so it doesn't really count.
Ingrid Bergman, pretty hot. Thor doesn't do it for me, but a lot of people find Thor very attractive.
Those pecs.
Fletcher, and finally, my personal favourite, Rufus Sewell. And how could I not mention Mads Mikkelsen?
How indeed could you not?
Yeah, Heath Ledger might be a shout. I'll give you Heath Ledger.
You like blonde men?
Sorry?
You love a blonde man.
Well, this makes me feel bad that I've got brown hair, but also makes me feel better about picking a redhead. Let's call it even, shall we? Just want to say, Knight's Tale, pretty hot film. Because besides the two that you've put in there, we've got Shannon Sosamon, Jocelyn from A Knight's Tale, and beside that, the blacksmith girl.
Yeah.
A lot of lookers.
Yeah. And Mark Addy, obviously. The brown-haired companion. Little tubby.
Oh, that guy.
Like
Why not?
Mark Addy.
Yeah, great stuff. I can't believe we didn't mention Audrey Hepburn from Charade.
Yes, true.
But it's too obvious almost.
Mm.
And as previously mentioned, Macario's wife.
Not Macario.
Not Macario. Any other honourable mentions? Anyone else spend way too long on this category?
It's been quite a long time.
I spent 0 time on any category.
Excellent.
Harrison Ford, maybe? He's pretty
I
hot.
thought you'd pick Harrison Ford.
Did you?
Claire, do you want to introduce the final bonus category?
Yes, the final bonus category is the coldest actor.
Yep. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Nope.
Great.
Okay, Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert, Colin McLeod from Highlander.
Good choice.
Yep. My turn?
Yep.
Errol Flynn. From In the Wake of the Bounty.
Yeah.
Excellent. So it's I vote, then Fernando and Laura. So definitely Errol Flynn. He was cold. Left me cold as well.
I also vote Errol Flynn.
I vote for my person.
Makes sense. 2-1, but Claire, what did you think?
I would vote Errol Flynn.
Nice. Right, so it's me and you next, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for Charles Boyer. He was Gregory from Gaslight.
Ooh. Interesting. I'm going to go with Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Fernando, is it Charles Boyer or Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves.
Laura?
Charles Boyer.
And of course, I'm saying Charles Boyer.
You're kidding.
What?
He is not anywhere near as cold as Keanu Reeves.
Oh, he was so cold, though.
He's cold. In a way, it depends on what you mean by cold, but I appreciate that we're not discussing that. So is it Errol Flynn or Charles Boyer?
Oh, this is just so hard. So hard. I'm voting for Charles Boyer.
Nice.
Yep. I'm going to vote for Errol Flynn.
Yep. I'm going to vote for Charles Boyer as well.
Guys.
Wow.
Errol Flynn was clearly the coldest actor.
He was shaking.
He was. He should be like dampest actor, then definitely. But Charles Boyer, I'm feeling a bit chilly just thinking about him. Might put a jumper on.
Well, there you go, Claire. Do you want to?
Oh, yes, and the secret Oscar for coldest actor goes to Charles Boyer.
I've tried so hard to keep it within these walls, my own house. Now,
because you would go out tonight. The whole of London knows it. If I could only get inside that brain of yours and understand what makes you do these crazy, twisted things.
Gregory, are you trying to tell me I'm insane?
It's what I'm trying not to tell myself.
But that's what you think, isn't it? That's what you've been hinting and suggesting for months now, ever since...
Since what?
Since the day I lost your brooch. Yes, that's when it all began. No, it began before that. The first day here when I found that letter.
What letter?
The one I found among the music. From that man called Bauer. Sergius Bauer, yes. I remember.
Yes, you're right. That's when it began.
Yes.
I can see you still, standing there and saying, look at this letter, and staring at nothing.
What?
You had nothing in your hand.
What?
I was staggered. But I didn't know then how much reason I had to be.
I don't know. What reason?
I didn't know then about your mother.
What about my mother?
Your mother was mad.
Oh, Gregory.
She died in an asylum when you were a year old.
Brilliant. Well, so that's the bonus categories done.
Wow.
Good work, guys.
Heartbeats, The Muppets, Cromwell, Suzanne Plachette, and Charles Boyer.
Quite surprising.
Can you imagine that round on Only Connect?
What unites these for?
Well, is it time for any other business?
I think so, because next one's Best Picture. But yeah, before that, would maybe any announcements or any extra things anyone would like to say or do? I think Laura.
We do a special section to honour the actors that we've lost this year and possibly all the years from the films we've watched this season, depending on how much time this takes. Are we ready? I've prepared a special segment.
Please, take it away, Laura.
It's 5 minutes long, so feel free to, have a wander. Anything like that. Okay, ready?
I'm just going to sit here with my hand on my heart like when we play the music.
Yeah, do that. I'm going to do a little bit of reading while it's playing. Okay. Michael Gambon died in 2023.
No, William arranged it for you.
Are you interested in films, sir?
Not likely.
Why shouldn't I be interested in films? You don't know what I'm interested in.
Well, I know you're interested in money and fiddling with your guns, but I admit it, when it comes to anything else, I'm stumped.
That's it. That is not fair, Billy.
And now, Sergei Dredin, the Marquis de Custine, the European from Russian Ark. 1941 till 8th of May, 2023.
Сударь, подождите. Не слышит. Я должен извиниться. Они сейчас говорили совсем другое. Вернее, и я их почти не слышал. Я все придумал, и про Арбеля, и про Петровского тоже.
Ну, Бог вам судья, Бог.
Я все придумал.
Да мы же с вами свободны, сами говорим.
Beautiful.
Richard Roundtree, Shaft, in Shaft. July 9th, 1942 to October 24th, 2023.
No way!
Did you not know about that?
There's been a lot of low, quiet rumbles going on uptown. Our people have been able to pick up the sounds of it, but no words.
That's because us black folk talk mushmouth, Lieutenant.
I thought we were going to get to it.
We did, but you want me to pigeon. I just said up yours, baby.
How come a couple of cats from Harlem come downtown this morning looking for John Shaft?
Well, they're soul brothers. They came down so I could teach them to handshake.
They find you?
Of course, I wasn't hiding.
If you find out anything, give me a call, huh? I'm still at the 38th precinct.
Right on.
Hey, where the hell you going, Shaft?
To get laid. Where the hell you going?
So good.
Ignacio Lopez Tarso, Macario, in Macario, 15th January 1925 to the 11th of March 2023.
Ah, yes, he's dead.
Pues sí, principalmente por eso.
Y al primero que te pidió, ¿por qué a él no?
A ese, claro que ese no, quería engañarme. Sobre todo si no le di a mis hijos ni a mi mujer. ¿Crees que unas espuelas o unas cuantas monedas hubieran podido más que el gusto de mi familia?
Pero tú sabes, al segundo, ¿por qué no lo invitaste?
Ah, porque él es el dueño de todo lo que existe. De mí, de ti, de todo. A él nada más le importaba verme hacer un gesto. Y después de invitarle habría corrido lleno de arrepentimiento a darle a mi familia y ya no habría comido casi nada.
Ryan O'Neill, Barry Lyndon in Barry Lyndon, April 20th, 1941 to December 8th, 2023.
Well. You seem to be a very well set up young gentleman, sir.
Captain Feeney, that's all the money my mother had in the world. Mightn't I be allowed to keep it? I'm just one step ahead of the law myself. I killed an English officer in a duel, and I'm on my way to Dublin till things cool down.
Mr. Barry, in my profession, we hear many such stories. Yours is one of the most intriguing and touching I've heard in many weeks. Nevertheless, I'm afraid I cannot grant your request. But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll allow you to keep those fine pair of boots, which in normal circumstances I would have for myself. The next town is only 5 miles away, and I suggest you now start walking.
Mightn't I be allowed to keep my horse?
I should like to oblige you, but with people like us, we must be able to travel faster than our clients. Good day, young sir.
Special mention to Angela Lansbury, died in 2022.
Tale as old as time, true as it can be. Barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. Just a little change, small to say the least. Both a little scared, neither one prepared. Beauty and the Beast.
Well, that was beautiful.
Yeah, very sweet. You prepared the hell out of that as well. Amazing.
I cannot believe that Barry Lyndon is dead.
And any other business for anyone? I suppose I could take a few seconds just to say I've been listening to a few of the podcasts lately. Just the last couple of weeks I've been putting on episode after episode, just reminding myself of some of the conversations we've had. And I want to say thank you to everyone for making this happen, because it's been more than 5 years now we've been doing this, 100 films. And that's no small thing. And I kind of realised while I was listening to the podcast that while we, in theory, we're making this for other people to listen to, and it's just Wilf, and in that respect has been a bit of a failure. Just the joy that I've been getting from listening to a couple of old ones has made me realise kind of what we've been doing is like writing a diary together, and that's been a beautiful thing, even if it's just for us. So here's to another 100 episodes.
It is nice, and I'm going to propose that we start our own YouTube channel.
Whoa. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Some podcasts do this. They go and post all the old episodes on YouTube and release them all later. That's how some people listen to podcasts. No, as I say, I don't care if no one ever listens to it. I've been having a wonderful time. Okay. The moment we've all been waiting for. The final and most important category of Best Picture.
Woo!
The culmination of 3 years of film club meetings as we've been building up to this.
I thought it was 5 years. Oh, 3 years since the last
3 years
Oscars.
since the last
I
Oscars.
see. How life has changed.
Exactly. So let's kick straight off with Claire and Laura. What were your best films?
I am going to nominate Russian Ark.
Как жалко, что вас нет рядом. Вы бы все поняли. Смотрите. Море вокруг. И плыть нам вечно. И жить нам вечно.
What?
I know it's not going to go far, but it
was best film.
Yeah. I thought there was something brilliant about that film. I know you hated it, and I'm very willing to accept that it's not going to make it beyond like that sentence. But I think there are other films that I would have nominated that will be nominated anyway, and I think it deserves a hearing.
Nice. That's great. Yeah, no tactics here.
Yeah.
Say what you think. Mm-hmm. Russian Ark. And Laura's about to say Highlander, so you'll probably still win it.
That's true.
Well, my nomination is The Muppets Cromwell. No. Barry Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon.
Barry Lyndon.
Dear child, what a pity it is I am not dead for your sake. The Lyndons would then have a worthy representative and enjoy all the benefits of the illustrious blood of the Barrys of Barryville. Would they not, Mr. Redmond Barry?
From the way I love this child, my lord, you ought to know I would have loved his elder brother, had he proved worthy of any mother's affection.
Madam! I have borne as long as mortal could endure the ill treatment of the insolent Irish upstart whom you have taken into your bed. It is not only the lowness of his birth and the general brutality of his manners which disgusts me, but the shameful nature of his conduct towards your ladyship, his brutal and ungentlemanlike behaviour, his open infidelity, his shameless robberies and swindling of my property and yours. And as I cannot personally chastise this low-bred ruffian, and as I cannot bear to witness his treatment of you, and loathe his horrible society as if it were the plague, I have decided to leave my home and never return, at least during his detested life, or during my own.
Very close call for me. There were two up there, two clear options.
Russian Ark and Barry Lyndon.
Yes.
What made you go for Barry Lyndon?
I just thought it was flawless. And Marlon Brando really stuck in my craw.
Okay. I see. I'm not picking that one either, don't worry. It's a great film, wasn't it?
Yeah, just lovely. I mean, lovely cinematography, good old Ryan O'Neill.
It's too long though, wasn't it?
It was pretty long. Russian Ark felt endless though. I think it was just a beautiful film. Beautiful film. Scope, cinematography. Did I say that already? Probably. Yeah. The oil painting shots, the cinematography. I mean,
yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
Do you know what I liked about it?
What did you like about
cinematography. which is basically another way of saying it was a film.
Like it was a film.
I think cinematography can vary between films, to be fair.
Yes, it can. It's not an easy one for me. I think Claire thought Russian Ark was just going to get thrown straight out, but I thought Russian Ark was sensational.
Sensational?
It was brilliant.
Brilliant? Sorry.
Yeah. That said, I thought that about Barry Lyndon as well. Different films. Barry Lyndon, I love a good epic, of course. And Barry Lyndon was a true epic with a lot going on. And
Duels.
Sheep.
They made the square.
Yeah, that was good.
They made the square. There were lots of
beating.
There was lots of sex on screen. That's good. Beating. It was a bit ridiculous in some places. Bombastic.
Ooh, interesting.
It wasn't a subtle film, but it was a bit of a masterpiece.
You don't think it was a subtle film? I thought it was very subtle.
There was a lot. I'm thinking back to. There was a lot of very clear, punchy dialogue and characters with big personalities. I don't remember many times I was thinking, "Ooh, the subtleties of that internal frustration or whatever." It was.
They barely spoke.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. It wasn't a lot of dialogue. Oh. But then Russian Ark, I've never seen anything like it. Where are you on all this, Fernando?
What do I think? Well. I had to look at the Russian Ark Wikipedia article once again, and apparently people say that it is widely regarded as one of the greatest Russian films of all time. I wonder if this is the only Russian film.
Well, I can't name any other Russian films.
That would explain that sentence.
Yeah, that's one of these, like, the more adjectives you have, the less impressive the stat.
Well, some praise that I can say about Russian Ark is that it was in Russian. So I like the Russian language. That was cool.
Yeah. Spasiba.
But I quite like the English language as well.
Exactly.
And Barry Lyndon
and if I were
that.
asked, which do I like more, Russian or English? I guess I would have to go with Prussian.
What would the Queen think, Fernando?
So, I think I'm ready to vote.
I'm ready as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Barry Lyndon, because while Russian Ark was brilliant, it was it didn't have the incredible scope and spectacle of Barry Lyndon, and it wasn't quite as entertaining, which is important. Fernando, do you have your pick?
Yes. Well, to me, they were both equally entertaining, so it was a hard choice for me. So the only difference that I could see between the two movies was that one was in Russian and the other one was in English. And because I like English better, I guess I am compelled to vote for Barry Lyndon then.
Excellent. So Claire, you changing your mind, or?
No, I'm going to stick with Russian Ark. I think it was a real feat of cinematography.
I think it deserved to be there. And Laura?
Based on the cinematography, I'd have to say Barry Lyndon.
Yeah, well, for best cinematography, it's got to be that. So Barry Lyndon goes through.
I accept that. Ungraciously.
I think Russian Ark deserves to be up there. That was a good pick. So my pick is Princess Mononoke.
What a great film. What a great film.
What do you plan to do?
To see with eyes unclouded by hate.
Eyes unclouded. Does that right hand of yours wish to kill me now, Ashitaka?
If it would lift the curse, I'd let it tear you apart.
And I dream of the day when I will finally crunch that gun woman's head in my jaws.
But even that wouldn't end the killing now, would it?
Yeah, I think it swept quite a few of the awards for a reason. It's just superb. The superb animation. Again, a bit of an epic. Really uses that lengthy runtime. The cinematography is beautiful. Again, we've got like Barry Lyndon, every still of it could be an oil painting. And I love the story it's telling of this sort of clash of civilizations. Brilliant stuff. Princess Mononoke.
A worthy choice.
And what are you thinking, Fernando?
Well, that it was a great film. Yeah, it was a great film. I agree.
Do you have an alternative to it to suggest?
Well, given that I have to have an alternative, yes, I am nominating. And this will be my second time nominating this film, I guess. It's called... What is it called? So Long, My Son. Yes.
So Long, My Son.
回来了，欣欣回来啦，洗手吃饭了啊！
那小子
上面呢，叫下来吃饭也不行。
别吃我的家！你说咱们这俩孩子啊，同年同月同日生，这老天爷安排的多好。
孩子被吓坏了。
Yes, So Long, My Son. And maybe it cannot, as in maybe not every scene can be an oil painting, but every scene can be a film, which it is. So, what else can I say about it? It made me think about life. It also made me think about buns. What else did I think? Basically those two things, which are great things.
Yep. I am going to say there were buns in Princess Mononoke.
Oh, well, in that case, you win. Okay, fine.
Are you saying bums?
I'm saying buns.
Buns?
Buns.
Buns.
We're talking about like bao buns, right? Like the little dough things with pork in them.
Okay, cool. Do you want to elaborate on your picks anymore?
It also made me more empathetic about the struggles of everyday struggles of normal people in China.
Yep.
Yes, that's all that I wanted to say.
Yeah. I thought So Long, My Son was a good film. I thought, again, like this is not so different from Russian Ark Barry Lyndon. I think So Long, My Son had a lot of interesting stuff to say and a lot of made me think a lot of thoughts and feel a few feelings. But I'm going to say Princess Mononoke was the all-encompassing, just sweeping masterpiece of film that I think will go down in history a bit. And I think it had something to say that was universal.
Didn't So Long, My Son?
Perhaps.
It was told through a very specific case study, but
yeah,
family and relationships are hard and loss are all sort of universal struggles and feelings and things.
I think So Long, My Son was more personal, right? It was more about a few individuals, whereas Princess Mononoke was about peoples. It was about whole ways of life clashing. That's not to say it was better or worse.
In a sense, it was using they were both using individuals to tell about broader social and structural issues.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess Princess Mononoke was higher level, though, wasn't it? It was saying, like, here's the story of a war, rather than here's the story of a few people. Again, not to say that's better or worse.
Oh, So Long, My Son was saying here's a story of an oppressive regime that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really meet anyone from the regime or find out why they were doing what they were doing, though, did we? It was just
subtle.
Here's how it affected people. It was subtle.
It was less on the nose. Princess Mononoke was just too literal.
I think anything with a boar god in it can't be said to be too literal.
Big boar, big wolf. Good.
Oh,
like Wolf.
yeah, Wolf's good.
Yeah.
Well said. The soundtrack.
The cinematography.
The cinematography. How are you two feeling about this, Claire and Laura?
Well, I think they're both excellent films. And I've just looked at my Letterboxd, and I gave So Long My Son 4.5 stars. And I gave Princess Mononoke 5 stars. And I think I still hold to that, which is that I just love Princess Mononoke for... Maybe it's not a better film, I don't really know, but it has a place in my heart. And I've definitely thought about it more than So Long My Son, which I've started to sort of forget. Scenes, details have ebbed from my mind a bit. Whereas I feel like I could replay the entirety of Princess Mononoke from start to finish in my head.
Wow.
Well, no, probably not. But, I can picture some of the characters. That's saying something.
Yeah, I'm really quite torn here. Yeah, I don't know.
Tricky.
I'm going to need a couple of days to decide. Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to... Like, I can't remember what I thought about them, but looking back, So Long My Son seems to have stuck with me more.
Okay.
Interesting. Who's ready to vote?
I'm ready to vote.
Me too.
I guess I'm also ready to vote.
So Long My Son.
Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke?
Well, I mean, I like both films. I really like both films. I don't like them equally. So the only differentiating factor between them two is the language. One of them was in Japanese. The other one was in Chinese. So I guess I am bound to vote for Princess Mononoke. Excellent. It is in Japanese.
Right, cool.
Is this how English films keep winning the Oscars?
It's pretty much. Which language do I like? I think the one I know.
That's why Britain always did so well in Eurovision.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Well, so that's Princess Mononoke through.
So does that mean the 4 films we picked were all in a different language originally?
Russian, English, Japanese, Chinese.
Horrible.
Wow. Well, can't get at us for lacking national or linguistic diversity.
That's true. Yeah. Was anyone getting at us for that?
They'd have to listen.
I like to imagine that a few people were and that we've just put them in their place.
Okay. Should we get quite angry about it?
Yeah, I really hate those guys. And if that's you, we no longer want you to listen to the podcast.
No, we do. We do.
Yeah, we do.
We'll change everything about what we say and do.
just listen, please. So it comes down to Barry Lyndon and Princess Mononoke. Maybe there's something to be said comparing the two. Anyone have any thoughts?
One of them is better than the other.
Hopefully.
I'm inclined to agree. I mean, if one wasn't better than the other, we'd have a really hard time
we'd have a
deciding which one to go for.
Well, we do have a randomizer element.
We do have a random element if needed. It looks like we watched Barry Lyndon before Fernando set up a Letterboxd account.
Wow.
So make of that what you will. And before Claire set up hers, incidentally. Were these similar films?
I was going to say they're about as vastly different as you can imagine.
I think they've both got that sort of that sweeping epic feel, but yeah, they were different, weren't they? Barry Lyndon very much focused on one person. Princess Mononoke taking in quite an ensemble cast.
I don't have anything clever to say.
Ah.
It's not an easy one.
That'll do.
Both different films in their own way. One had more animal, and that was good. But one had more Irish people.
Very true, very true.
One had more sheep.
One did have more sheep.
I'm not sure which one had more sheep. There's only one that I remember having sheep, but there were a lot of random animals in Princess Mononoke.
Well, I can't make a decision if I don't know how many sheep were in it.
Which one moved your heart more?
Oh,
that's
the Marie Kondo approach.
Yeah, if one of these had to cease existing, which would you allow to just disappear?
Oh, that really clarifies it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one I'm voting for.
I don't know. I think I do.
Fernando, do you prefer English or Japanese?
Yes, I guess I do. I do prefer one of those languages, and I prefer the one that I can speak.
Yeah, but you don't have to be tied to that.
Do you not prefer your native language? Or Japanese?
No.
I think, Princess Mononoke probably did move me more. There was more peril. There was more stakes. I was on the edge of my seat thinking, oh God, what's going to happen? At least the first few times I watched it. But I have to say Barry Lyndon was more of a cumulative film.
Cumulative.
So I did accrue a great sense of feeling. It just didn't ever bubble up into a big burst of emotion. It was more of a wave upon the sand.
Wow.
I just really like the bit where he blows smoke in his wife's face.
That's not cumulative. I just like the bit where he beats the shit out of his stepson.
That's great as well.
Yeah.
I think I know.
I know.
I
also know.
Well, I think it's time. Claire, Laura, Michael, Fernando.
Moment of truth.
Princess Mononoke.
Savage.
Barry Lyndon.
Oh! Princess Mononoke.
Oh, savage again. Well, I genuinely think that Barry Lyndon is the better movie. Not only because it's a better movie, but also because it's in English. So yes, I'm voting for Barry Lyndon.
Oh my goodness.
We moved to a tie.
Fortunately, we came up with a list of tiebreakers earlier, which at least no one objected to. Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Proceed.
So this is the first one. If there's anybody who just sort of felt that they had to make a decision but is really on the fence, you could take back your vote now.
No, I'm going to be furious if Barry Lyndon wins.
Yeah.
Don't capitulate, Fernando.
What?
Sorry, you can capitulate if you want.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I'm not on the fence about this vote. I know that this is the truth.
Yeah.
I will not remove my vote.
I see. So, well, yeah, me neither. So Claire and I are both sticking with Princess Mononoke. Laura and Fernando both sticking with Barry Lyndon. So we go to item 2 in the list. Discount people who voted for their own nominee.
That would be me and you, Michael. Then.
That would be me and you, so that doesn't do it.
Nope. 3. Just discount
3.
for a film they originally picked to watch. Just me and you then, Michael.
I picked Princess Mononoke and you picked Barry Lyndon, so that's not helping. Do 2 and 3 together, so that doesn't help.
Sudden death!
Oh no, it's gone to rock, paper. I was sure that would do something.
Wake Wilf up!
Unfortunately, I don't have access to Wilf.
He's abandoned us in our hour of need.
Yeah.
Shall I let Heather pick?
You want to wake up Heather and ask her?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Why don't I ask my cats to pick, huh?
I'll offer her a little, like a little forest sprite and a gun and see which one she picks. Are we going to do this? Are we really going to go rock, paper, scissors?
Yes.
We can't do rock, paper, scissors.
That's the system we all agreed on.
Yeah.
I agreed, but only by omission.
This is what happens when you don't attend the meetings.
Oh. Are we going to do it?
I don't see what other choice we have.
3, 2, 1.
Rock.
Rock.
Oh, God.
3, 2, 1.
Rock.
God.
Oh, this is so tense. This is so tense.
Oh, is she going to switch or is she going to stick?
I lost count. 3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Paper.
Victory.
Amazing. Amazing.
I am furious.
Well, doesn't get much closer than that.
No. It's just how they decide the real Oscar.
Yeah, for all we know. Well, it was a great film.
It was a great film.
Hard to argue.
I'd like it to be noted that I voted against it twice.
Yes, we did a lot of voting against Barry Lyndon, didn't we? But there we are.
Oh, lovely stuff.
So, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the Best Picture of the Secret Oscars 2023 is Barry Lyndon.
Thank you.
Laura, would you like to make an acceptance speech?
I would. I want to thank my mother. I want to thank God for blessing me with the right answer. Scissors. Against my usual paper. I want to thank Stanley Kubrick for making the film.
I can't believe he was third in the list.
I guess Kira for making me watch it.
Great.
Yeah. COVID-19 was a hoax.
Yeah.
Get your hands off me.
Interesting.
COVID-19 was a planned emic.
Great. Well, what a climactic end.
Yeah. Shall I read out all the winners one last time?
Yeah, please.
To remind us of everything, we had the most imaginative plot went to Princess Mononoke. The best adaptation of Mutiny on the Bounty went to Mutiny on the Bounty, 1935. The best antagonist was Lady Eboshi from Princess Mononoke. The best animal was Yakul from Princess Mononoke.
An animal.
The best film in the category of films that made us reflect on our lives and helped us either make some changes to it or feel more comfortable with the lives that we have was Heartbeats. The best soundtrack was Star Wars. The best actor was Ryan O'Neal from Barry Lyndon. The worst picture was Babes in Toyland. Boo.
Ooh.
The best lovesick drama was Heartbeats. The film that would be most improved if all but one of the cast were Muppets was The Muppets Cromwell. The hottest actor was Suzanne Plachette from The Ugly Dachshund. The coldest actor was Charles Boyer from Gaslight. And the best picture was Barry Lyndon.
Amazing. Amazing.
Amazing. I've got just a couple of statistics that I compiled. Princess Mononoke got the most wins, 3 awards and 5 nominations. Barry Lyndon and Heartbeats came next with 2 out of 2. So there were only a couple of other films that got 3 nominations. Those were Highlander, Jason and the Argonauts, and My Own Private Idaho.
2 of those were in worst film, for the record.
Yes, exactly. In total, 29 films received a nomination.
Wow.
So 29 out of the 58 films we watched. It's a fairly good spread, I think.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I look forward to doing this again in 50 more films.
50 more films. Wonder what year it'll be.
I know.
Hopefully 2024.
That'd be great. Film a week.
Why not? Any last things we want to say, or shall we wrap up?
Why don't you ask me where I'm going?
Where are you going?
To get laid, baby. No, I'm not really. I'm on my own.
Oh.
Who's next?
Maybe we should do it now.
Yeah.
I think we should do it now, yes.
Right, shall we pair off and do rock, paper, scissors?
Yep. I feel blessed by God.
3, 2, 1.
Rock.
3, 2, 1.
Paper.
Well done, Laura.
Honestly, she's blessed.
She's got it. Oh, don't worry.
Touched by Jesus. 3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
What?
How could this happen?
What are the chances? It's impossible to know. 3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Paper. Oh. How could I fall for it? Oh, well, Laura and Fernando.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Rock. Victory!
Wow. She is actually doing well.
Yeah.
Great job, Laura.
Thank you.
She's been working on that, hasn't she?
Oh, yeah, I've been practicing.
Praying.
Just praying and practicing. That's all you can do, really, for everything is in life. Pray and practice.
So we didn't actually say that we were going to do this. Do you have a film?
No. But I can give you a choice of 3 based on the genre: naval epic, claymation, rom-com.
Naval epic. Obviously naval epic.
Reopen nominations.
Mystery? Do you want a mystery option?
I want a mystery option.
Right,
I always
like
want
a mystery.
option.
Is it going to be Agatha Christie?
I don't know. Could be. Who knows? Let me just pick a film at
You
random.
haven't prepared at all, have you?
No, I wasn't expecting this.
Claymation.
Interesting. Fernando?
Sticking with naval epic.
Rom-com.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I'm sensing there's not a great appetite for another naval epic. I'll maybe leave that one for now.
Well.
Well, there's an appetite from one member of the club.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Michael should pick since he's not getting these naval epics.
Yeah, sort of AV style. So we're not having the naval epic. So
what were the other options?
Rom-com.
Yeah. Or mystery.
I'd go for. I'll pick the mystery.
Okay,
Michael.
Well, in that case, the mystery film is Evil Under the Sun.
Brilliant.
Which I picked at random when Claire said, "Will it be an Agatha Christie?" And I thought, why not?
Do you have a year for us?
1982.
Excellent. I'll look forward to it.
Oh, it's got that Hercule Poirot in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Peter Ustinov. Oh, it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Maggie Smith. Film 101. Can't wait.
Ooh.